Okay, what is up, everybody? We are back, man. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. As you can see, I'm already grinding. I wasn't waiting for y'all. No, I'm playing. But either way, I hope you guys grind. It's been going well. Day 7, man. I was gonna go and like wait till Friday to do some streaming, but I was like, you know what? It's day 7. I kind of need to stream. We're streaming here. But yeah, we're getting the account situated. I've changed some builds. I don't know if you hear, Lonzo. I'm gonna have to help you with your forward build real quick because I actually went and read his scaling. So, and Kirito, if you want to let him know, I can help his build cook real quick. Um, but either way, man, if you are here for the first time, definitely make sure that you guys like the stream. I would really appreciate that. It'll help more people come in. And really, on top of that, it just makes me feel nice on the inside. And we're streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So you kind of pick whichever one you prefer. But yeah, that's that. All right. So you said, yo, what's up, Lonzo? What's up, Kirito? How you doing, bro? What's up, Tricky? How you doing, fam? We got, yo, what's good, Howard? How you doing, bro? You said it's nice to play along while watching. No, that's fair. Dude, that's why I try my best to be. I'm not the younger version of myself. You know, where I was like, I don't know how I did it the way I did it because I would like pump out like 7 videos and then still stream 8 hours that same day. Like I was a different breed, I guess, at that time. But yeah, so I'm trying, I'm trying. I think also too, like once I get like my editing, like I got to go get another computer too. That's a whole nother thing. I just need to take care of that. But yeah, once I get all that stuff like in my workflow just back streamlined, I'll be back to pumping out 1,000 videos a day. He said, so I'm here just to say I don't know anything about the game, bro. Okay, so what do you need to know? What do you want to know? Like, did you like are you playing? Like, what's your account look like? Like, what are you doing? I can help you. It just really all depends on what you want to do. All right, so we're gonna do this real quick. I gotta run this. Like, I have to because this is the only way I can kind of build up my forward more. But I'll show you my build in a second, Lonzo. He said, it's all good, no worries. He said, I'm here, I just went and liked the stream on YouTube. Oh, you're on the Twitch now? Dude, I like this thing, because I use this platform called Restream. It lets me see both my YouTube and my Twitch chat at the same time without it being like way too complicated. Also, I do want to say I apologize if you see me look down. Because okay, so here this is I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at right now. Okay, so if anybody sees me look down, it's because I'm technically playing my new account and I'm also playing my main account at the same time. So I'm not texting somebody. I'm actually playing more Invokers. So yeah. just want to put that out there. You said, what's my Althar team? Right now, I don't have like it's my main core team. I don't have like a dedicated Althar team just yet for this account. Are you asking for the new account or are you asking for my main account? Because my main account, that's a different story. But like this early in the game, it depends on how hard you push, right? And also, I guess what you may or may not get in the beginning. But at this point, you're really trying to push to like difficulty 7, I would say, or stage 7, really is kind of like that sweet spot you're trying to get to. The gimmicks matter, but they don't really feel as crazy until you start to push into the higher stages. So you can kind of take anybody into anything. Author, I will say, it does help when you have units that have Hex. That just makes a big difference because the higher up you do go, you do start to feel more of that intensity because there's other things that keep reviving. On my roster right now, I don't even think I have anybody with Hex. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. We got to go into I always forget this. I think is this the symbol for Hex? I think so. Yeah, so I think I just got this chick too. So funny enough, yeah, so this is the only character I have with it, and it's single target. I'm not finna use that in All Star. like, like this is why like on my main account, like a unit that you actually will get for free that like ends up being kind of like impactful for Althar is Red Riot. Red Riot is like one of those units that a lot of people don't realize is actually very, very strong. She's very strong. She's very, very strong, and she's just tons of AOE. Like that's the beauty of her is that she's tons of AOE, and then she has all this hex and block revive and all that nonsense. But yeah, this ain't gonna cut it. I mean, maybe early days, sure, but like them higher stages, it's just like I might as well just use my base team at that point. You said Lucis has hex and block revive too. She does. I don't think I have her on this account though, because that's the bunny chick, right? Am I tripping? Yeah, I think that's the bunny chick. I think that's the bunny chick. Hold on, I have her in my main. And I think I have her 6-star. So hold on, pretty sure. Yeah, it is. Yeah, she's really good in tower too. She's a really good unit for tower. So I was using her for my water tower for a while as well. Let me see. Yeah, I literally only have gotten, and I guess this is the best case scenario for you guys because if you got better stuff, then your progression should look a little better. But I've only pulled 2 epics, so, so there's that, right? Like, it's just 2. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. So I'm going to have to rare game it, which is fine. It's doable, but it's just funny. I was just like, well, there's that, guys. So I really, really am just expecting the next big thing to be once we get to our 5-star. You said, what's our healer build? Oh, let me show you this. Okay. So I had to mess around with I had to mess around with this dude because I was like, dude, I want him to heal a little bit more. I think it depends on what you want him to do. Depending on what you want from him, you focus on one or the other. Right now, I'm running him like this, but I still maintained a good amount of HP. Like, right? Like if you look at like my damage dealers, they're only at like 7K ish. He's at about 11K. And their builds, like, I'm trying to think, yeah, like this is a similar build, right? But the emphasis is still, yeah, the emphasis is like pretty similar. But for him, he doesn't need attack so that he can survive. It's so he can heal better. So I have him on HP, attack right now. I have 1 HP here and another attack on attack set, 3 bonus. So I'm getting my bonus HP from the set, and then I'm going attack, and then I have that 1 HP. The reason why I'm doing that though is if you look at his heal scales off of attack. So if you want him to heal more, he needs more attack. If you want him to shield more, it's based off of 15% of his max HP. Really, at the end of the day, it's like the shielding is nice, but I really want to also kill my character because if something knocks off my shield, I mean, I still need my health back. So yeah, that's how you can kind of like mess around with that for right now. And then as you skill that up, that heal gets kind of chunky, right? Now, the other luxury, too, with going with the attack emphasis is that he also now is applicable damage. So that's the other luxury. I think, honestly, that's probably going to be the better emphasis of his build, like versus going for the shield, because he still can do damage. So I think that for me has been a little bit better than just going the HP with like the same build emphasis of the set, but just doing it HP bonuses. I've gotten more value out of the attack bonuses. I got 1 HP just to give him a little bulk. And then that's that. And he doesn't need like, obviously you're not trying to put like crit and crit rate and all that jazz on him. You're not trying to do all that. But yeah, just simple stuff like that makes a big difference. I'll probably try to get like mana gen maybe at some point. If not, combo speed might be another one. But yeah, I mean, that works perfectly fine for him. You said, what you said, hold on, let me go back because I just like missed like I think like 3 comments. You say you only have one. Oh wait, you talk about Epic, Kirito? You said what do you think of Quinto the Legendary? You say you just got him. If I'm not mistaken, what is Quinto? Quinto is a support, I'm pretty sure. And I think he's is he a light seeker? Yeah, he is a light seeker. So he has attack buff, combo speed, extension. What does this a combo attack do? Shorten debuffs on allies. Ultimate monogen 10 per buff on the target. And this is this AoE or single target? And his damage increases by 5% per buff on him. So this dude is gonna be he's gonna be nice on like Sakael. Sakael, he's gonna be really good. I haven't really messed around with this guy too much, and I really honestly don't really see him in anything other than probably dungeons. If we're talking about like general progression, he's a buffer. He's a buffer. Attack ups, you have combo speed up. Combo speed is not a bad combo with attack up too, because that's more overall damage. And a lot of people don't realize how strong combo speed actually is. So that's actually pretty good. Extension of buffs is also really good too. So yeah, this honestly, like his kit is like really good. It's not bad. Yeah, his kit is like pretty good. And you can also use them for I'm trying to think where you kind of want. If I'm even thinking about like pairings, for example, like you have I know some people probably will use him with like a character like Durlag. Because Durlag, let me see if I can show you what he does. Because as a support, he probably can do a good amount of damage himself. Like his modifiers aren't terrible, but he's not like main DPSing. Yeah, he's not like main DPSing with his modifiers. But he does have some great team buffs though. Yeah, so like I can see somebody using him with like a Durlag just because what Durlag does, that man is like a buff monster. Let's see. You said you have better Titans than actual Invokers. Well, Titans and Invokers are a little different when it comes down to like the rarity, man. Like that's the thing. Like rarity matters. I feel like if I had to give it more of an emphasis, I would say on the Invokers than it does more so on the Titans. Like it's a thing, but when you look at like even some of the best pairings right now. It'll be like legendary and invokers with rare titans. Like rare titans, even like for example, the Litra is the freebie titan that you get. That's like one of the best titans in the game. Like between Litra and Voltorox or something like that. The homie Waffles was talking about it yesterday. If you read their combo attacks, dude, they got defense breaks in them. Like that's really, really good. And it's every other hit because it's 2 hits. So every other hit you have combo attacks coming at the character, like, or a defense break coming at the character and resetting the defense break that you already applied if you have enough accuracy. Like it's like when you really think about damage windows and how much that can make a difference, it's actually a pretty big deal. He's Iron Bands, I think. Yeah. I think it's Durlag. Yeah, so yeah, this dude does he gets ignored defense per buff. He extends buffs on himself, like he's just nuts. So I can see him easily being paired up with somebody like that allows him to be able to amplify himself more from that. And then he can like that extension to debuffs, just being able to do that many times for yourself is crazy. And then if you pair him with someone else that can give him, and it's just like that the uptime is just crazy. And that's why it's like it's one of those things where it's nice to be a well if you are one, because you just have way more opportunity to test more things at once. But Hey, we'll get there eventually, you know? You said which Titan is that again? Oh, that's it's these two. And they're rare Titans. It's the very first one that you get. If you read the combo attack, it's every 2 hits you do, or every other hit. So you have your first hit in your chain, and then the second hit does a defense break. And when you skill that up, that's 35%. But the thing is that every time this second hit hits, if the defense break was like dwindling, it resets it. So it just for the duration of whatever you have your invocation for, which there are ways for you to extend your invocation time via investment. That then becomes a bigger window for more damage. So the main things you typically care about with your Titan is the bound effect, because that affects the Titan or the invoker it's equipped to. You care about the invocation ability. You obviously do care about what their general skills do, but you care about the invocation ability when they come out of, and then you also care about like things like this. Reason why I pay more attention to combo attacks now is because skills do matter, right? Like they are very, very good, but combo attacks are the most consistent form of damage in the game. Like it just is what it is. It doesn't seem like it, because like when you're like, oh, I got these cool skills. There are characters that have like crazy bursts on some of their skills, but a lot of the times, I say 90% of the time, you're going to see that the combo attack dealt the most damage. And it's just because it's the thing that you're hitting with almost the entire fight. So combo attack investment is actually like pretty important. And then when you have characters that have abilities on them, like for example, if you go to like a legendary and they have some, like say they have a really good 5th hit, you're going to want combo attack speed, right? Let me see. Oh, this is my box. Get out of my box. Go to my index. Yeah, you're going to want combo attack speed on characters like that, especially if you're really trying to amplify what that combo attack 5th hit is. You're going to want to get that value from that. So I don't know if Virtuous has one, but I think he does. Okay, point in case. You want Virtuous to, I mean, he's already ridiculous. Chances of him dying is like pretty slim anyway, but let's say you wanted to amplify him rotating that 5th hit so he can keep healing himself. Excuse me. You would want combo attack speed for that. And there's only a few ways that you can get combo attack speed, which is another reason why it's kind of important, because it's either you roll it on a gear piece or you get it from your trophies, right? So if you've been doing arena, that's why like with arena, I'll probably say most people will probably tell you whichever element, which it is a little bit different based off of what you're investing in. The first one you'll probably do is combo speed, because combo speed, like that like for whatever attribute you're investing in, like let's say it's your main damage is light or dark, whatever it is, that combo speed is going to shoot your damage up quite a bit as that starts to stat. Actually a lot once it starts to stat. You said, who are your favorite epics for a core team? Oh, man. And it's funny. My fastest clear so far. And there's one dude, I think his name is Demetrius or something like that. He's in the community. We had the same layout. That so far has been my fastest progression push. It was with Confar. Confar, I kid you not. I feel like, for me personally, Confar is one of the funnest tanks in the game for me. Like, I love this dude because he's not just a tank. Like, he's not like he can't taunt or anything like that, but this dude does damage. Like, he be over there damaging stuff, and then he just be like shielding himself. Like, he don't be dying. Like, he be over there blowing up stuff. So he is such a fun character. I had him paired up with Danos. If you actually look on my channel, I did the beginner series from the last like changes they made for the beginning of the game, and he was the only epic I pulled, and that was the funnest progression I had. Him and Danos, his ult is not. It's not a how can I explain it? Like, his ult is. It is kind of crazy. Like, he just gets a whole bunch of value out of his kit. Like, defense break, you got burns, you got res down. Res down is super nice to have. Like he scales off of defense and attack. So like he's a really really fun tank. Granted, he can't taunt, but dude is still nice. Um, you say he's a fraud. You saw sneak into your stream a bit today too. Yo, what's good, Waffles? How you doing, man? Listen, it's funny because Ultra Goblin had asked me if I was streaming today too. That's funny. But yeah, so Confire was one. Another unit that I really liked, if we're talking about like damage dealers, you said, do I like rap music? I do listen. I actually like music in general. I used to dance professionally, and yeah, I just like music. If it sounds good, yeah, I like music. Let me see. Epics though, and for progression, ooh. So when I first started, Cordis was actually a unit I used quite a bit for pushing, but this was also at the peak of bleed. So it was a little bit of a different time. He had some bleed in his kit, so I was like running him, but he's fun to play because he'd be doing all this like Valkyrie stuff. Like he'd be like jetting across the map and like he just like I will say I like the fact they gave him wings and they didn't like make him useless, right? Like he actually does stuff. Like he'd be moving, he'd be zipping around. So he's a fun character to play. Oh man, I was bleed heavying pretty hard in the beginning of the game for my progression. Cause I had like Nyctra. Nyctra was pretty nuts too. Mordak was kind of crazy too, but they were both bleed units. Trying to think, my first real shift into true damage or just like outright damage, I should say, not true damage, was actually Kalis. So Kalis was really cool. She was pretty cool. She was like my first character that really helped me like start doing higher tier content damage wise. Ruthos is the best tank in the game easily. Like yeah, like Ruthos is dumb. or epic tank. Sorry, he's the best epic tank in the game. Yeah, he's easily up there. And isn't he fusion? Isn't Ruthos fusion too? Let's see. Yeah, I think he's fusion too. Yeah, Kalis is also fusion too. Is he fusion? Oh, he's not fusion. Never mind. Don't listen to me. He's not fusion. Unless, hold on. Does he make someone though? No, he is fusion. Okay, I'm not bugging. I'm like, he is fusion. I'm like, I swear I saw him. I mean, to be fair, like, even when you're like looking at like out of the two legendaries, which ones you're probably gonna build first, it's gonna be Matesu. So it's safe to say that you could do just a fusion for Ruthos and be okay. Like, to be fair, don't feel bad. Like, oh, I did the fusion and then I didn't fuse Gladstone. It's fine. Gladstone is pretty decent though. I'm not gonna sit here and be like he's bad because he's definitely not bad. But Matesu I think is gonna be like, for me, Matesu's changing my account because I just did this fusion too. The area he's specifically good in is an area you kind of need to have down pack. And you're going to get stuck even if you get Red Riot. He's good at Authar. And then he's also really good in the Water Spire, too. Yeah, Osos is a great unit, too. Osos is a really, really good unit. Yeah, this guy is really, really good. So, yeah, this is definitely a fusion worth doing. You said, should I do the fusion in early game for Ruthos or not enough resources? You should be able to pull it off for Ruthos. With resource management, I would definitely say though, I would probably still do like I feel like Belmore is still like, he's definitely a good one if you don't outright pull him just because of the Dark Spire. I think we were talking about this last stream. Like Kalis is another great one for damage. Vorak is great as well. Yusasa is good too. That's not a bad one. Caliph is not bad. And then like I would say for here, this is pretty feasible because like really in reality, it's not uncommons being used. So there is that little bit of an extra emphasis there, but it's pretty feasible. That's pretty feasible to be honest. Like if you were just doing the Ruthos, You need Drovis, which you already have. You would have to pull the others. I don't know if this girl is I feel like she's a drop on campaign, but the other two I know you have to actually actively pull. So it's possible it could take you some time, but it just all depends. Um, Yo, what's good, Alderman? How you doing, fam? Yo, what's good? Oh no, how you doing, fam? You said how early do you think it's worth fusing the epic tank? You said I guess it's quite a bit of research. I would say, in my opinion, I usually like when it comes to fusion, um, I usually wait until after I get a big core chunk of my progress quest done, because it's like you can, but it's like a matter of it's a few different factors. It's like if you have the resources, and what I mean by that is, do you even have the specific characters for it as of the moment? Um, you have to be mindful of the fact that you have buffs that you need to take advantage of as well. So really honestly getting as much push as you can when you have like the 7 day window on your essence, for example, like that is such a big deal to take advantage of. Because once that closes, now you're at the mercy of either spending gems or you have to wait till the specific day a dungeon opens. And that's gonna halt you all on its own, just because you can't push a character more if, like, for example, their essence day is closed. You're at the mercy of whenever they open, unless you want to spend the gems, which typically I don't recommend doing that unless like you just got gems stacked or you're buying gems, I guess. But I would definitely say it just depends on what you have. Like some people, depending on their start, like when I had the Confar Dano start, I was able to push into insane in like the first like few days. So it was way quicker than my current progression. But like with my current progression, I just got a really nice sustain, but my damage is all standard damage. It's like nothing like super, out of this world or anything like that. So you said you said I'm really early on, 5 days account, just unlocked insanity. So I was thinking about the way to direct the account. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you can have like in terms of like the direction, depending on like once you get to insane, you're gonna get stopped at some point in insane. Like it just is what it is. It takes you a little bit of time to really get a solidified team. And even then, it's like they start to ramp everything. Like things jump a lot, and it goes from like, okay, I was chilling to now I'm getting one tap. That's what basically happens in insane. So um, that's the fun part there. But yeah, I would definitely say it's like dependent upon each person's account. So some people can make certain adjustments and start doing certain things a little earlier. If you have the means to do something like that, that would be, if like we're even comparing it to like, okay, I want to do Vorik versus the other character, right? It's basically the same thing, right? You're still doing 4-star nat threes into their 4-star nat threes up to third ascension on the purple stars. So it's like it's essentially the same thing. The only difference here is that one of the characters is an uncommon. So it's a little bit cheaper to actually do the uncommon. And you have a higher chance of having that character. But other than that, it's literally the same thing. So if you have it, you can absolutely start working on that. And the way you can kind of like work it into your progress quests is that when it comes time for you to do those 4-star like ascensions, make sure the 4-star ascensions are these characters so that it applies. You can kind of double dip with it. You get the value out of working towards the fusion, and then you also are completing the progress quest. So it's like a lot of different ways you can kind of go about it, really. But I will say, like going and working towards Gladstone or Matesu completely, that's gonna take time, like for sure, because you're now having to take these characters up to 50. You then need to get their ascension material. Ascension mats does take a good bit of grind. And then you also want to factor in too that with time, you may outright pull some of these characters. So like with this account, I actually got kind of lucky now I'm thinking about it, because one of the units I'm actually using right now, or that I pulled, is actually this character right here for the fusion. So I just outright pulled her. So I could completely skip this now and just do that if I really wanted to think about that in the near future. Um, and then, yeah, that's basically that, though. So I'm one character down, essentially, from the Matesu fusion. So, yeah, I think I'll start doing them in parallel since they will also help quite a bit in tower. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like, doing these characters, like, overall campaign push help is going to help you, like, going and aiming for, like, Matesu. He, like I said, ends up being great for Water Spire, but he's also amazing for your Althar team, too. Which when you're looking at like some of the places that you end up farming in the end game, I still do Ogrim here and there, but I'm primarily in Althar and Sakael, really. Those are like the two primary places, unless like now with the events, it's like, hey, do Olgar or Ogrim. Then I'm there, but yeah, otherwise that's where I'm at. You say you just pulled Rickarel. Is he worth investing in? He's great for Water Tower. He's actually currently my my Water Tower tank. He's actually decent for progression too. But yeah, for a lot of people's Water Spire, he's up there too. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss. I know I missed like a ton of comments because I'm one track minded. So I like the game. So it's brutal for free to play. And it's that. So I think the thing is like, and that's why that's like one thing I never really like. I guess it really depends because I don't know everybody's pockets, if I'm being honest, right? So like for me, it's like I know what I'll spend and I know what somebody else might spend might not be what I'll spend, but I think one of the things that's like kind of what I always pay attention to is like they're still adding certain things to the game. So like one of the main like focal purchase things that a lot of people tend to buy in like most gachas, we don't have it yet, which is like a battle pass. I feel like the battle pass might actually be like that safe medium for people to get some value, but not like feeling like they're maybe breaking the bank to get it. Battle passes usually are that for the most part. So I'm hoping the battle pass does like it is actually really, really good or has some like, you know, really cool thing. I don't know if they're going to do skins or something like that. I don't know, but that would be cool. But resources is really what I care about with the battle pass. Then as far as like free to play, I think the thing is that you have to ask the question of, is this game not beatable if I don't have X thing? Like, can I not progress and not beat something without this specific thing? I think the area where you really see that having certain characters matter the most is PvP. PvP is always pay to win. I haven't played a game where PvP was just free to play and everybody just got to have fun and do it, and you could have spent $0 versus the guy that spent 100K. Usually PvP, it's definitely you're gonna get wallet ninjutsu, but to be fair, there's plenty of guys that are free to play that are spanking the super wells right now because they just understand the game way better. There's a guy in the game right now, Jabir. He's in high elo and gold, and this man has a freaking uncommon on his team. It's like, and I be sitting there like, I just be like, dude, like, he's one person I will attack. It will straight up lose to, unless he intentionally is trying to drop tiers. That team just he'll spank me. And it's kind of funny, but there's a lot of teams that's like that, where people just have found like really like janky combos that just work. And even positioning matters because this game isn't like a turn-based game. It's like your position matters. I'm trying to think of the uncommon. I got to look at it. This dude, and I can't remember the rest of his team, but that uncommon always sticks out to me because I was like, yo, why? I'm like, why is this so strong? Like, let me think. I think he was a Stoneheart maybe. Rudgar. It was Rudgar. So for some reason, this guy, I don't know why, and he won't die either, which is the crazy thing. So it's like and he's not one of those guys that got like a full LD team. I think he might have a Skolos, which is another problem. That's a problem on its own. So Skolos is a whole thing, but yeah, this is one of the characters that I see on his team sometimes, and I'm like, yo, like But then you have your Titan parents, which is a whole nother thing. Like a lot of people think it's all legendary Titan. Like, oh, people just got legendary Titans all day. No, they don't. It's dudes running like some of the strongest players in the game. They're running like, for example, they're running Warith. They're running Litria. They're running where's the other one? Boop. Go back. Boop. Let's see. So, let's see who else do I see pretty often. Nope, not you. Do. I see some people running Amprix. I feel like I can't remember if it was Bragnot or Geodas. It might be. It's one of those for sure. People definitely be using Valexios for PVE. Um, Let me see who else it is. I feel like I see some Lortons too, but yeah, like they're using like a lot. Oh, hold on. Oh, they just gave me one of those. Is it a National Guard the commercial? I'm like so confused. All right, hold on. Yeah, they said hold on. Sorry guys. Yeah, we get we get advertisements to join the military all the time. Imagine. Okay, let's see. Hold on, let me do this real quick. I'll hold on. I'll mess with that in a second. My brain can't do two things at one time. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, I think it was Bragnot. I'm not gonna lie, I never see Terror Run. And he's the only mythic in the game. I never see Terror Run in the game. In high elo PvP. Uh like I think some people that have him there, they literally just have him just because I mean it's a mythic, so fair. I see people use Visicant. Um Yeah, a lot of the ones I see people really max out, like Warif, that's currently if you see like any Nervals, they're running a Warif on it. Usually. There's definitely some people that got some mixed variations, but so there are a lot of layers in this game. No, it is. This game is definitely not it's not just a pickup in it is in a way. Like you can pick up and play, but there's definitely a fair share of content where it is more thought out. You have to consider like, okay, is the issue that I have a weak unit, or is it that my unit's not invested? Is it that the Titan invocation isn't doing anything because my character's not invested? Do I have the Titan leveled? Then you start looking at gear, and we don't even have a lot of the other layers of gear yet. The other layers are going to be, um, they're going to be things like, what is it called? Like we're missing 6-star gear, right? So think about how that's going to impact how we're progressing. Like we're already doing a lot of this crazy stuff without 6-star gear. So once 6-star gear comes into the game, that's going to be a whole nother thing. I would suspect that harder content comes with, obviously 6-star gear. Not just the dungeons themselves, but then also like actual bosses to fight and stuff like that. Maybe raids at some point, stuff like that. We still have this right here, which I think is accessories. So that's the thing I'm the most interested in, because I think with gear is pretty straightforward of what's going to happen with that. It's just going to be higher base stats. More, value you get from that is just pretty straightforward. But with the accessories, I have zero idea like what that's going to do. You said, have they added to the roadmap when they expect to add 6-star gear? They did. I'm gonna have to let me pull this up real quick because I was just looking at it like the other day. But I'll drop the link to it. They absolutely did. Let me see. Invokers roadmap. And if we open this bad boy up in its own tab, that is supposed to be coming next month. So that's why I've been trying to like tell people, even in within my community, let alone in the Discord. I'm like, guys, like if you start playing now and you get your account situated, you're gonna get through a lot of this beginner process nuance. And then you're going to be in a better position to be ready and prepared for clan. You're going to be more prepared for what accessories might be bringing. And then, of course, I won't say you guys will be able to jump into relics because I'm almost willing to bet that relics is just going to be a much, much higher content. I don't think they're going to give access to relics, the 6-star relics at least, before you even start touching 5-star. It just wouldn't make sense. I would presume that we probably would get more harder stuff for that, but that also I think is more on the note of like there's guys that have super, super like invested accounts. They need something to do. Like that's just is what it is. They need things to do at this point. So I think that'll be a part of it. The clan boss, which Sorgot, we don't really know much of or about. And then right after that, that's going to be another clan boss coming in October, November. And then we have the Infinity Dungeon and then passive skills. So if you're not aware of passive skills, which is very possible because I think currently there's like one character or maybe two that like visibly have it. One of those characters is actually Virtuous. So Virtuous has his passive. I don't think anybody else, not that I can recall, has their passives yet. So hold on, none of the other characters have passives yet. So he has a passive. And when you really think about what some of these passives do, like, or what they're going to possibly do, like his is like, it's actually it's pretty important. Like it's a pretty impactful one. Whenever an ally's HP drops below, at max 30 or below, then he casts the HP shield buff on them and it lasts for 15 seconds. So I'm like, if, you're talking about like every legendary is going to get a passive at some point potentially, then that's going to like change where some units actually may or may not land, because it also could affect synergies. It could amplify synergies. It could like that's like a whole nother thing that's going to expand the value of a unit. So even like units that may not have seemed that great now get a crazy passive. They might buff some stuff too, and then now you got a crazy stacked unit, and it's like now everybody wants that unit. I see that happen all the time. That's why, like, for me, when I do get something bad, it's like, it's always good to hold on to it. I know, like, there's some guys I remember playing on a couple of games where they'll get something bad and then they'll just feed it. And I'm like, dude, like, what if they buff that and then now you had it, but now you don't, right? So that's how I kind of look at it. It's like, okay, again, always worth still taking something, to like level 50. Which nat 5 stars, that's easy to do. You just level them, and they can still be used for something. But when you're talking about that 6-starring, it's like, yeah, that's gonna be a big deal. So yeah, 6-star gear, accessories. I don't know if there's like outright gonna just be like if accessory is an accessory, or if there's qualities to them, or if there's rarities to them. I have no idea. So that's another thing that'll be cool to see. As we push forward. So yeah, I'm excited for all that stuff, to be honest. But yeah, I think like the more you get this part of the process out of the way, the quicker it'll be for you to be able to jump into some of that newer stuff. Because I really think the people that are, the more tenured are going to be able to take advantage of playing that sooner. All right, so let me go ahead and do this. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me not be hasteful here, okay? Or hastily, I should say. We need to actually do some pushing real quick. And then I got to get a level 50. That is what I have to do. This is the reason why I wasn't pushing for like 6 stars so fast, because it's like now I need 5 level 50s. Let's see, 25 on normal. You want 25, so now you want me to basically solo, maybe? I don't know if anybody can solo yet. I'll try. Excuse me. Okay. Let's try that. Let's see. I don't know. I'm gonna have to tweak her a little bit, but she should be okay. This is stage 1. Should be all right. Unless she just gets bled to death, then ain't nothing I can do about that. So especially because the start of the game takes a crazy amount of time, so it's good to get rid of it. Yeah, that's the other thing too. We could also be seeing some more revamps to it. I think that that's the cool thing too. A lot of people that already had accounts was like, "Ooh, this cool new player." Because I'm promising you, the new player experience that people are getting right now, the people that like are that've been playing like for a while, the new player experience was not as good. It wasn't as fun either, right? Because and I'll say it's subjective fun, right? It was fun for what it was at the time, but it's more fun now because there's events, there's more resources. Your pool of units is just completely different. I think even just mentality is different too. Like when I was starting before, it was like all about bleed. Like it was like everything. Like it was just worry about getting bleed, you win. And so now, I do feel like you do have to kind of like play a little bit more, right? Like you gotta actually think about it, because bleed ain't gonna get you all the way to to end game all on its own. Um, but yeah, it was like kind of cool to be able to experience that, but then being able to actually go through the theory crafting, learning about other units, because that was the problem. Um, the bleed was so impactful that it was making it to where you weren't learning about anything else. You weren't using anything else. You weren't trying to build anything else. So it just kind of made everybody play. Some people use the term the hive mentality. Like that really was the purest form of it, because because in reality, why play something that doesn't amount to the other thing that's just really OP? You know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. You said is bleed better than? I think they're about the same, really. It just depends on the content you're going into. Like for example, like Sakael punishes you. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's for bleed. It might be burn. I always forget Sakael's punishment, and then I go in there with it and get punished. But I think he's burned. I think he's burned, and even then, I think it's burned because I was doing something with Waffle's account, and his Brandis just did not care. He was destroying that boss, but it was also like, again, one of those things where he has really good gear. He had her invested. It was also paired up, I think, Brandis and Raziel too. So that was kind of that. Um, you said, so I can imagine either run bleed or don't run at all. Yeah, it was like, so for example, even like the advice when I first started playing that I got was that like building into crit damage just made no sense. Like it kind of, it's like, yeah, it kind of doesn't. Like in the early days, like you don't get as much value out of it just because you start dying. Um you said you said yeah, so yeah, that's the thing, fam. I mean, like I can't really like I like whenever it comes to price points and like I think I'm probably the wrong guy to mention anything spending wise, because I'm the same guy that's dropped, you know, $7,000 on a banner. So I don't know. I don't. Certain things aren't really. I'm not out of touch, but because I do free to play things all the time, but I also like my perception of spending is a little bit different, I guess. But I would say just like everybody's spending points or thresholds are just different. The advice I always give though is that you have to do things within your means and what's most comfortable for you. I will say this game is very, very completable without having to spend. I don't think that that's a true narrative that you have to spend to play this game. To be fair, um, even when it comes down to like, and it's a little bit more work, right? Like as a free to play, like there's certain things I have to do every day. Like I have to do my dailies. I have to do bonus quests. I have to, like it's like I have to be making sure that in this earlier phase, I'm pushing as much as content as I can with these bonuses and stuff like that. There's just certain things you have to do. I feel like you have to invest lower and build up. When you're spending, you have the luxury with purchase power to be able to kind of skip certain parts of the process. Whereas a free to play, you can't really do that so much. Even if you do get lucky, you're not going to be like doing that every single time. Let's say you got, like you got really lucky and you got, let's say 2 Nat 5s that were just super busted. You're probably not going to fully build them anytime soon. Like at all, because you still need to get to whatever respective stage they're at to farm their ascension material, and then you still got a 6 star. You got a 6 star and skill them up, which just takes so much time and resource. You, I think a lot of people are missing the fact too that rares and epics, and I would even say more so to the rares. Rares can still clear things in endgame. They also are significantly cheaper. So that's like the other thing too. It's like, they're not going to have nearly as much utility comparatively to a maxed out legendary. But when you start now looking at like the cost of trying to get a legendary built versus getting a rare built, it's significantly cheaper. And that value scaling is just going to be more because of the cost, and that'll help you progress more so that you can actually start farming at a more efficient or more efficient quantities of whatever it is you're trying to get, so that you have more to invest into your legendaries and can compete better to invest in those, I would say. um you say, yeah, Sam, hero collecting is some of the fun games, and you get almost zero sums chance to. So I think the time window, it just really all depends on how fast you're pushing the game. But I think the max time it took me, and this was on my last progression push, was like 2 weeks to get my Nat 5. And that was like having to go to the pity. But along the way, I got a lot of really, really strong epics too. So that's why I said it's like I make that point, even if you are free to play and you got, let's just say every other pool was a Nat 5 star, you probably can only build one of them really. Like you can level them, but you're not gonna really be getting as much value because you still got to skill them up. That's the other, like, I guess that's the kind of the catch 22. So it's like that still takes time. That's going to be like rotations of clearing spires so that you can get codexes. Competing and climbing arena brackets is going to be another factor to that. There's obviously they're adding more content, so clan stuff might shift some of the resource yield too. I would suspect we could see, maybe they might throw summons in there. I don't know. They might say, here's another avenue of daily resource. I have zero idea, but that could also change it too. You said, when you say with the bonuses going on in the game right now, what do you mean events? So when you first start your account, you have these bonuses that are, like, for example, in boss mode, sorry. Omnisci is unlocked for, I think, 7 days when you first start, every single one of them. So this gives you freedom to be able to basically to play the game and build up your account without any interruptions. Once this goes away, you then become now locked at the mercy of, like, say, trying to push ascensions. You're at the mercy of whatever day it is. So like if you're doing things on your progress quest and you're trying to line them up to actually farm the thing you're trying to actually build, then that's what you actually run into. You said, don't you think that considering the current monetization of the game basically is just no, I don't think so. To be fair, like, okay, so to give you a little context, if you don't, I mean, I don't expect you to know who I am, but I've been doing gacha gaming as a content creator, and specifically within this space with companies, almost a decade now. It doesn't necessarily work that way. Like, a lot of people think that games like can just EOS when they launch. Like, it doesn't just happen like that. Even the worst of the worst of the worst games, it really boils down to a couple of factors. What is the cost to upkeep your game, and is the sentiment really shared, right? Like, take Raid for example. People spend on Raid, and a lot of people think that that game is, like, they'll say like, oh, that game is too expensive. It's too expensive for you. But there's people that spend money on that game, and when you look at the average demographic of people that spend on that game, they're like 45 plus. So they have this capital to spend on that game comfortably, and they just enjoy it. It's the only gacha they play too. So I think it's like a lot of factors you have to think about too, is that a lot of like what somebody's preference is versus, like, obviously what, that's why I said it's like it's to each person, right? Because I used to think that, right? I used to be like, oh, this game's gonna EOS because of this, and then when I actually started looking at like, there's people that like, for example, play these games. Like I'll play 50 gotchas, and I used to spend on like literally all 50 of them. And that was burning me out, and it was causing my pockets to drain like really fast. So I had this perception of the spending, but then when I started to like dwindle that number and I was only really spending on one or two games, I didn't really, I guess it was like I didn't really mind as much. It was like that's what I enjoy. That's where I put money to. The one thing I always say though that I think is really important is having healthy parameters, man. Like that's the thing. So it's like doing things within your means. I like I said, I can't really speak to each person's means because somebody dropping 100K might be comfortable for them. And who am I to tell them they're wrong for dropping 100K? Like I'm not. That's just hey, it ain't my 100K. So again, like over my career, I've spent quite a bit on gotchas. So that's why I said I think like it doesn't take much to keep a game alive. Like the wells definitely are the big reason why games survive. So even though it might seem like missed opportunity, where like it's like the middle margin, but yeah, those guys, they're and I'll tell you right now, there's dudes that's spending. There was a guy I was talking to in the Discord actually. He just started, and I was like first day in. I think he said he was like he dropped like 500 first day. I was like, hey, well, if that's what you're doing, bro, because I was asking him those questions because I usually try to give advice according to if you're free to play or not. Or it really, more so to the lines of free to play. And this guy was just like, he was like, hey, bro, it don't matter. I'm spending money regardless. That's the type of time he was on. I was like, hey, I'm not mad at that. So I was like, hey, dude, that's more power to you. He said if you would just want to spend. Well, that's the thing. He said like, and it was an interesting convo because he was like, yeah, man, like he was like, I got it mapped out already. I know how much I want to spend. I'm gonna go crazy because I want to get my account situated. Like he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and so I think it was me and I don't know if it was Waffles there or if it was Lou. We just kind of like helped him get his account situated for what he wanted to do. And it's like, that's like always one of the hard things with like trying to give advice is like, you like try to stay away from like, how about you just go hit the gotcha again and hope you get like, you don't want to do that. But he was insistent like, oh, I'm going to pull anyway. So I was like, hey, that's, I was like, I ain't gonna knock it, man. I was like, that's cool. BOP if that's what you want. But yeah, I say that all to say though, it is very subjective when it comes to spending, and yeah, I personally I respect everybody's point of view. If it's too much for you, it's too much for you. If some people don't mind, and you said Cat spend to set up his account for the future. Cat got we always joke and say Cat has oil money, but like. It seems like it though, like because he's so quick to like spend and then be like, "Yeah, I'm not playing that no more." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, that's just how he is." He's like, "Yeah, I went crazy and now I don't care no more." I'm hoping we can get him on Invokers though. I think for him, I noticed it's like, is the game actually officially out? That's like always his thing. But like once he's committed to something, he will play it. Oh, you know what? I just forgot. I wasn't trying to do that. That's what I was trying to do. Was this? Let me actually run. Let's see. We'll put that. You said, so you can put 5 and don't get a legendary light and dark. Yeah, that's like, yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think he can. So I agree with him. I find like games that not officially out. Yeah, you know how we get. We'll find games from the crypt and play them. But like that's the thing too. It's like the best thing you can always do, man, is find games you really like and play it for that reasoning. Because like I always bring this game up. This game is super uber pay to win, but It's one of my favorite games. Last Claudia, man. I love that game's mechanics and play like the pixel art and all that stuff. But yeah, GG pulling on banners, man. You just wait until you get those freebie tickets. But I really honestly like I just enjoy that game. So I get when people are just like, dude, I enjoy this game. That's what I don't mind. And I've been playing that game for 8 years now. So I just think it's that. Like you gotta find a game you care about. Said, yo, what's good, Loki? My fault, bro. I didn't even see you in here. What's good, man? So you're heading to bed. Thanks again for dropping by. Last time it ended up being 17-hour challenge. Dude, that's what happens when you're doing those super sweaty like fight challenges. I'm glad you ended up being able to complete it though. I'm really, really glad I was able to come through too, because you were the way I was able to experience the game. So that was really cool. The game looks amazing, actually. So I probably will be giving Silver Palace a try for sure. And that game, I'll give it a try after I buy a new computer. Because they're using like Unreal Engine 39. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, this looks insane. Like, that game looks so crispy. It looks so crispy. All right, man. Have a good one, man. Have a great night. Yeah, that's like dude, yeah, that game, like, I was like, dude, the processing power on that is insane. Um, do 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 do. Dude, I know what time is it? Okay, we're good. I'm like trying to juggle everything. It's a skill issue, bro. And that's the other thing too. We could like that's the other reason why it's like oh, he's dying like pretty fast. Oh no, he's he's keeping things alive, keeping himself alive. I actually think it was better I swapped his build. Yeah, I worry about getting the chest afterwards. We just need to survive and win. Yo, what's good, With Intent? How you doing, bro? So I miss having a sleep schedule. It says it's been ruined for weeks. Wait, why has it been ruined? What ruined it in the first place? Dude, I mean, I don't know. I work a lot, but I definitely still get my sleep. That's like the thing. Oh yeah, GBF relink. Yeah, you did say that. You put it out there. You did say it was gonna consume your life. Like, that's funny. Yeah, I still somehow manage, like I'll go to bed. I think on average I get like 6 hours, six hours of sleep usually. Somewhere around there. Oh, so it was just that stage. He said, would you recommend Red's main stat for insane campaign, or is defense enough? Okay, so Res is gonna stop you from getting debuff and gonna stop you from getting slapped really hard. So, so like Res ends up being like I guess depending on the character, Res could help, but I would say HP and defense like more than Res at that point. I feel like in Tower though, you really start to look at Res a little bit differently. Like once you're in those upper like high 90s, like Res start looking a little different. Um, like I actually genuinely feel like you get hit harder in yeah, you get hit harder in Spire. Spire's a little crazy. I'm pushing into like the 100s right now, and there's people that's like pushed into like I think it's like 120 or something like that, like up like 110, 120 or something like that. And you're just dealing with stages where there's a wave. It's like now I have 6 waves on Spire, and you just have explosive units. They just blow up. So, so like you try not to die like just from these mass burst hits. Like that's all it is. Just straight blowing up on the field the whole time. And so like you're trying to kill them, DPS them down before they blow up. You got debuffs. I definitely think that in tower, for example, you deal with like bleeds and stuff like that. So that's where like that res really comes into play, because it'll be like 50 units hitting you, and the hits themselves might not be too crazy, but then they're all proccing bleed on you. So that's where it gets a little bit more relevant, I feel like. In campaign, it's really more so outright damage itself and how you're getting hit, than it is like the debuffs. It does help though, because there are still some stages that are a little bit more debuff oriented than others. Like I think, what is the? I think there's a swamp. Is that like chapter 7? I know that they have like a lot of those little insect things. That might be 6 or 7. Where they just they'll shoot like little needles at you and they just bleed you to death, basically. So you do have some stages that are just like that. But I would definitely say when you're looking at like insane pushing, the biggest thing is your healer and then your damage. I would say your healer, tanking, your damage. That's going to be a matter of like your awakenings, because you get so much value out of pushing awakenings. There's tons of stats in there. Fine tuning your gear, I definitely think is a big thing too, as you're looking at trying to rotate your abilities quicker so that you can like maybe group kill faster. It's definitely doable even with the rares, but when you're then talking about soloing, that's just a whole nother thing. Like that's your character got to be like perfect basically for some of those higher insane stages to be soloing. And even then, there's like you got like characters like Virtuous, for example. He can solo a lot of stuff just because of what his kit does. But yeah, like for me to be able to have like Celissa ready to do that and insane, it's gonna take a little bit to get her there. But yeah, I would say it's gonna be that defense HP still. And then of course, because of the character, you said you had your tank is water. So you're gonna have a chapter by default where he just gets clapped. Like because it's just attribute disadvantage, right? Um, you said I just finished Heart 6 and my phone's. Oh yeah, you gotta give it a break. Give it a break, pal. Yeah, so you're gonna have one chapter where your tank just gets destroyed. It's just because of the attribute disadvantage. But I also think too, like the way that the game's formatted, they assumed like by time you're really trying to hard push stuff, you have a couple of more options. So I think like that's one thing I try to do too. Like outside of my starter, damage dealer, I usually have 2 outside of my starter that I alternate between. Because you obviously got to do teams of 5 for dungeons anyway. But for campaign, I usually have 2 extra that I alternate between. Tank, I would say is safe to say too. You'll naturally have another tank at some point built because of Spire. And then that tank will have to probably rotate in for whatever respective one you're doing, so that it's either neutral or advantage. Because I will say, like, depending on the unit, like trying to push, like, say, like insane 6, 7, 8, 9, it's really hard on that end of insane. Goshu's good. Goshu's good. You said the only one fire is Lazine, but I've not built her. I gotta look at what her kit does again because I don't remember. Um, but Goshu's actually great. Oh, like made my instinct proc. And she just like dashed back, tumbled. Just like considering Braineth, Earth Rare Tank. Let me see. Let me see the fire one you were talking about. It's like I could always do this chest later, but yeah, I'll probably do that later. Hold on. Um, do. She is a Hmm. And you said the Earth one you had was Braineth? I think that's the Eldrin. Oh no, I'm lying. Oh, the Stoneheart Braineth. Okay, so I'm actually building her uh for my tower right now. She's gonna be my Earth tank. I think that low key would be worth. I'm not gonna lie. He said, and she has a ram shield. I feel like for what she has that reflect damage. I think is gonna be like really nice. To be honest, because the thing is that she does it with a taunt, which is actually kind of strong, really. I don't know if we ooh, did we shatter it? Oh no, we didn't. Oh, I needed to be controlling that. She like my AI was doing nothing. She was facing the thing. Okay, we'll run it again. Yeah, she has taunt with that reflect damage, which is like great for that to be a one skill. And then she can also heal herself too, based off damage dealt. And then she also has attack down in her kit too. So that's actually not bad. And I like the fact too that she has a crush tolerance, so you can actually use her in Althar too. Because AoE taunt reflect damage, that's actually a really nice combo. So that you can help with ad control. And then if you have somebody that's like killing things with Hex, then they don't come back. That's actually like really nice. But yeah, being able to reflect that some of that damage back at them is like really good. So yeah, I actually am building her. She was one of the more newer Stonehearts that were added to the game. Um so yeah, I gotta definitely build her. Wait, you said for the Tyrannus event, does the crowns disappear once the event ends, or can you save it for the next? So there, to my knowledge, I don't think there's gonna be a next Tyrannus event. But the crowns don't roll over. They stated when the event was like being like uh I guess pushed and like kind of they're kind of hyping it up, doing like the announcements for it and stuff like that. That basically what's going to happen with crowns is depending on however many you have, it's going to purchase the highest item out of the shop automatically if you don't use them. So crowns, I'm not sure if it's going to be called crowns or if it's always going to be crowns every event. I'm not sure because this is our very first event. So that's the only reason why I can't answer that in confidence, because we don't know if, what our gaps in events are going to be. We don't know, as far as chases go, is that going to be once a month? Is that going to be twice a month? Is that going to be once every 2 months? Like, I have no idea, right? But what I can say is that you definitely want to spend whatever crowns you have on what you want before the game decides what it's going to buy. So yeah, that's the thing. So one of two ways people kind of approach this event was they either knew I'm gonna go and get Tyrannus, or they knew they were gonna just buy items out of the shop. So that's kind of like, for example, like what I'm doing with this account. I'm not obviously gonna get Tyrannus, so whatever crowns I get is just gonna go to items that I can just get from the shop. Yo, what's good, Milton? How you doing, bro? You say you just started today? What'd you end up getting? Um, you said, how do you get purple stars on characters? That comes from, to answer your question, Clutch, that's your ascension. That's where you get it from. You said, so been playing game for a few days, only have a few complaints. So you said 1-2 grindy. So Germ, they have it in the and I will say that is one thing that the devs have been really good with, is they actually do read all feedback. So if you have any feedback, leave it in the Discord, bro, in the feedback section. Because the game is actually small enough for them to see that stuff. Which I will say is a really big deal, because a lot of the time stuff just gets lost in the wind. And hey, you know me. if I could fix certain things, I'd just be like, hey, I'll do that, you know. But no, honestly, you know, I think that what did I die from? What did I just die from? I see this is me not paying attention, and I bet you it was a timer. You said I'm at 110 crowns, so there's no way I can get them with the current time. When did you start? When did you start the event though? You said I pulled the OP unit. So I pulled Baron. You said I'm so excited. Baron, Baron who? Are you just calling him Baron, or is his name really Baron? I feel like there's somebody named Baron in the game. Yeah, you guys have to forgive me because there's like some character. Like I noticed what some people do too. They'll call the character by like the first part of their name, and I'm like kind of accustomed now to calling them by the name you see in the codex. So unless I'm just blind, you have to tell me who Baron is. Because somebody was calling they were calling what's his name? His name is Ricklow. They're calling Ricklow Sunspot. And I was like, who the heck is Sunspot? I was like, wait a minute. And I went and looked, and his name is Sunspot Ricklow. I was like, oh, okay. You said skeleton tank. Oh, are you talking about Skolos? Hold on. Is that Baron in front of his name? Oh, it's Skolos. See what I'm saying? yeah, dude. You basically just got a LD and an RGB body. Yo, no, congrats on that. That's you. Look, Waffle said Skolos, dude. Yeah, Skolos is like, dude. I mean, to be fair, like that's the tank for you to build. Like, period. Like, you're good. Skolos is crazy. Skolos is a crazy take. Gotta say, Skolos is pretty crazy. Yeah, I gotta pay attention to this real quick because I keep losing. You said Graumund? Graumund. Why do I not remember? Who's Graumund? Oh, Graumund is the other, he's the other Stoneheart. It's like, I'm like, who's Graumund? Okay, Graumund is the other Stoneheart. So I'm gonna be honest, I have not had a chance. I really honestly have not had a chance to play him at all. Like I couldn't really in full confidence tell you how good he is just because I haven't gotten him or played him at all. And I don't see him anywhere. I genuinely have not seen anybody mention him, and that's not saying he's bad, but accuracy down, res down. What is this? Oh, okay. So he just got that. So he one of those characters. So he's just gonna have like. So he has crit. Waffles, is there any places that you really care about like crit rate down in other than like, I don't know, PvP? like is it like, do you care about that anywhere? Because I never care about that debuff, at least right now. So he has attack down though, extension of debuffs with a defense up buff AOE. Accuracy down and res down. He has a lot of debuffs though, and his utility is kind of high. He has a lot of. I don't know if it's like one of those like jack of all trades but master of none type of things, or if it's just because most people just haven't really figured him out yet, or don't have a good pairing with him yet. You said I was going to fuse the dark tank for my free to play tank. I mean. The dark tank. Wait, you talking about Ruthos or is there? Oh, you're talking about Belmore. Sorry, you're talking about the rare. Okay, I'm thinking. My bad. My brain went to epics, and I was like, dark tank fusion. Yeah, you're talking about Belmore. That's absolutely worth doing. Absolutely, because you're still gonna want him for your tower, and that's the nice thing with attributes being a thing for Spire. It's not really just a one tank wins all scenario. And I will say this, Tricky, in my opinion, right? And so I'll give you my take on tier lists, right? Tier lists are always subjective. They're always subjective. So what I'm gonna probably end up doing at some point anyway, I'm gonna have to make like separate tiering for free to play progression specifically, and early investment, because the thing that you have to factor in too is that the tiering, the tier lists are mainly primarily focused on maxed out, max ascended, max level, max best in slot gear characters. um, when you're talking about that work up to that point, um, it takes you some time. Oh, I'm not gonna finish this in 30 seconds. It takes you some time to get to that point. So, like for example, like I was saying before, you can get a character earlier, and because they're easier to build, they'll have more value on your account than a legendary that might be ranked a little higher. And it's just simply because of the investment. You're not gonna get them to 10 out of 10 on all their skills at the moment, because that requires legendary codexes, and quite a bit. Yeah, we got to redo it. We got to do this faster. I'm doing this too slow, so I can't do chest and that at the same time. I just got to go for the bell. All right, replay. Yeah, so that's like the thing. Like, so with a character like that, that's gonna still be usable. Like, you're still gonna use that character in your tower. Like, I wouldn't just like bench it and never use it. Like my first legendary, when I started, was Colodon, right? And like everybody, like, oh, Colodon's just bad. And I was just like, well, okay, hey, that might be fair, but I don't got nothing else, so I'm gonna use Colodon. And I used Colodon all through campaign push. Slapped him in my Spire team for Earth, and he still does great in there. He's just not a bossing character. So that's the other thing too. Whenever if you ask anytime somebody says something's not good, follow up with why. because because it could be more so a matter of, subjective comparison, like what are they comparing it to, versus this character overall is not good in these areas, but it is good in this one. So that could then still be value you can take from that and then still using it. That's why I think the general sentiment is that you can still take a lot of characters, not all to 5-star, and they're still usable for something. It's that 6-star push that you're not trying to do with certain characters, and they're not going to be something that you're really trying to use for a while. So like for me on my main account, a character I did take to 6-star was Danos, but I still use Danos and my light Spire, and I'm close now to the upper Spire floor, like 100s now. So when you're talking about, like, he is my main source of damage for tower, and so or for at least the light tower as of the moment. So I could have played it, to the point of like, oh, I don't have a legendary light DPS, so I'm just never gonna push further. It's like at that point I'm just holding myself up from extra resources I could have been building up until the point of me maybe getting a light or a dark legendary at that point. So even when you just think about like future content and stuff like that, I really don't think that there's just these outright this is just the worst investment you could do. That thing might come back and be relevant later because we're gonna have faction content. That's something that's going to, I think they mentioned it with like the Infinity Dungeon. There's going to be obviously like exclusive faction stuff where that's going to be its own thing. So something that might seem not that great, but you're one of the few that has it, might actually benefit you in that specific from that specific faction later down the line. And that's like the nature of these types of games, is like something that could be found to be trash now could be a treasure later, So that's like why, like, even with the Colodon, I was thinking about that. I was like, I ain't got really many other Beast Bloods that are legendary, but he's one of them, and he's going to be valuable, especially once that content comes. I'm assuming it's going to be something where he gets to just like, ram through stuff. So what's your thoughts on speed up buff? You said there are about 3 units that give speed up buff. Speed up? Are you talking about does it specifically say speed up? because I need to see what that says, because I've only ever seen, unless I've missed it somehow, combo speed, movement speed, um, skill speed, and am I missing one? That's like the only one, or the only ones I can think of. I don't know if I've outright just seen a speed up buff, unless I'm just blind. You said Kafar is the best overall investment, 6 stars for epics in your opinion. I think he's a great one. I mean, it just really depends on what you have specifically, but I think Kafar is definitely a great 6 star. Um, it's like, can you explain that skills above your sprint skill? It seemed you said it increases movement speed. So what you're talking about yeah, you're talking about move. Oh, hold on. Can we like break this, guys? Oh, we gonna literally we lost by a point zero. My tank is like the rest of my team is over there. I need to I'm gonna have to manual this. There's no way I can let auto do it. I'm my my auto's trolling me. They don't want me to be great. Oh shoot, Germ, that's what you got in your account, bro? You got a crazy account. Hold on. Sir, you got okay, so I'm not gonna lie, your life is so easy now. Yeah, your account is like low key, like that's Sebastian. Like, dude, Sebastian, and when you only been playing a week, dude, Sebastian lowers your gear by so much. You're just gonna be able to do stupid stuff now, like because even like he might actually be a prio for you skill up wise, low key, because especially for his ult, like that ult, man, that crit rate and crit damage buff he gives is just so dumb. It's like, yeah, that's like one of the best damage buff skills in the game for critting and crit damage. Yo, Rory, what's up, fam? You said congrats on becoming official Invokers Discord moderator. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, honestly, I've always I kind of always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to, but I like this game that much. I really do. So I was like, you know, I throw my toe in, do some moderation. Because like I'm really big on the community stuff, man. I love being able to help people, and you know, just yeah, just trying to, I don't know, be positive and bring light into the space. Like I really am like the least negative person at this point in my life. I just be laughing. I laugh too much, I think. You said, hey Zox, also on D7, who's the best healer overall? Sonar, Arissa. Sonar is really good. Arissa is great too, but Sonar is the guy. I'm gonna be honest. I like Sonar a lot. But Arissa is a great option too. I really don't think you can go wrong between the two. I do like Sonar. Like he has this with his ult, he does this healing pad. That's really, really nice. And then he also, I think, has regen in his kit too. So you get like outright healing with him. And then you also get that regen at the same time too. So he's a really, 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 really great character. And then in terms of like just general progression push, like he's great. Arissa can general push too, but I think like with the two of them, like, and I'm willing to bet it's scaling investment too, because depending on the healer you have, what you have to invest in is a little different. You say you sent me the rest of it. Hold on, I'm gonna show chat what you sent me. Let's see. She is a light seeker, I think. Yep. So Arissa, she has like her healing is good if you build her for it. She has defense up buff, but then she also does healing off of damage dealt. So I mean, to be fair, like her healing is pretty straightforward, right? Like it's all attack scale though. So that's one of the nuances when you're super early. It's like you kind of want a unit to be a little bit more bulkier. You can still build her though. I really would argue a lot of the times the reason why a person can't run a unit the way they want them to is because of how they built them. So like people will see this and they'll say, well, heal is scaling off of attack, so I'm going to do attack set with attack rolls. Probably not the best thing to do. You would at that point would do something like what I showed with my Fulric, where it's HP set bonus with attack rolls, right? Because it's like you're just trying to scale the hill, but now the character's dying. So I still got 11k HP, which is still the most HP out, almost more than my tank. But and my tank is actually HP, right? My healer is literally only 1,000 HP away from my tank, and I have one HP piece on and 3 pieces of attack. But that's what's scaling my heal. The other thing is too is that forward then has shield that then scales off his HP. So you kind of want both, but I think that that's the big difference too. It's like, what do they actually scale off of, and how are you building them? Because if you go the route of like trying to do too much and it's like super squishy, but then they have this crazy heal scale, it doesn't matter because they're dying all the time. So it's like finding that nice medium. And the nice thing about early game is the first 2 chapters are HP and attack set, which are like literally the easiest pieces to get to start building out your characters to actually progress through things. So I think Sonar needs a stat that reduces tick. I think he does actually because of what is it, region. But region is also like one of those things. I don't think you really get much scaling on the earlier pieces, because that's kind of the thing. Yeah, so he has a heal zone extension region, so that will be affected by ticks. So yeah, he's like pretty straightforward though. He's also attack. So I honestly think it might just be a matter of the build specifically, but he does have that region, which is really nice. That's off of the target's max HP though. So yeah, what is that? That's skill speed, right? Or speed, yeah, skill speed, I think it is for ticks. So yeah, I mean, there's that. So I guess that I really, if we're being honest, Arissa is probably easier to build at that point. But I would even argue in the beginning, you're not trying to do all that. You just put them on the same, you would do the same thing, really. You want them to survive, you're gonna go the HP bonus for the 5 set just to make your life easy. And then you'll tweak those things later down the line. You're not really tweaking too much like that because it changes. Like your gear's gonna change. You ain't gonna be using those pieces. It's just nuanced at that point. You said, can I send you my box? Have your opinion? Yeah, you can send it, Tricky. It says, should I put skill recovery or monogen too? Is it worth it? Depends on the character. It really depends on the character. And at what point are you at in the game? Because like certain thresholds you want to hit. But yeah, it depends on the character, it depends on what they're doing, what you're trying to get them to do, the synergy, your team. So yeah, it's a lot of factors. It's quite a bit. But yeah, if you want to, you can, I mean, let me know what you have. That would be beneficial, I guess. Oh, dude, you got Ulsos too? Hold on. Yeah, Germ, you're good, bro. I mean, you got Ulsos, you got Red Riot, you got Sebastian. Yeah, you got Thysa too, too as well, and she's great for healing, and she has chaining in her kit too. Your Titans are fine, by the way. Like you have Warath. The third Titan that you have is great for your Stone Hearts. That's the one that I actually use to push. The one that's on the first one in your third row, I can't remember its name, but it's great for the Eldrin. That's currently the one I'm using as well. And then Litra is also like, I mean, it's one of the best Titans for progression. And then the only other one that you're really missing is like Voltrex or whatever it's called. That would be a really good one. Yeah, Milton. All right, that's what I usually share is it's the Hit Zone website, which has all of the stuff explained. You gotta keep in mind, I've been, God, how long have I been playing now? I think I'm going on like, I think 7 months now. Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, because they have everything on there. It's like Titan stats. How does that work? I had to share that with somebody yesterday because they didn't realize that your Titan was affected by the Invoker, and then they also contributed to your stats as well in some way. Um, So this game explains themselves. Is what I'm saying. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they do. And don't get me wrong. There's still some things that like you have to kind of like play test to figure out. That's always like the nature of these types of games. Is like there's gonna be some things you got to figure out. But the base fundamentals that you need to know, they make sure that you have it. Because then from there you can kind of test things easily because you know, okay, this is what I have to factor in and consider. Okay, so first off, Tricky, we ain't gonna ignore the fact that you got Alexu on your account right now. How'd you not mention him? You got Alexu. You got yeah, you got Fulric too. You actually got some pretty good stuff. You got Zorak as well. He's a fusion fighter. He's actually pretty good. Galliard is another one. You have Usasa as well as a great healer. You got Kamfar. Serene is dude. Hold on, let me tell you something about Serene. Um, Serene be blowing stuff up low key. She's a great crit unit. She's actually really good. So yeah, you say you don't know who to put resources on. I mean, to be fair, okay, I would say okay. You already started doing Quinto, so there's that. Um, I don't think you really need to go crazy with trying to do, the supports right now. What's his name? Oh, dude, his name is I can, I'm trying to think of the legendary. Hold on, I'm gonna get his name real quick. Um, this dude is a Nocturna, Tatsulo. That's what it is. Now, Tatsulo, I think is gonna be a little bit better soon ish, maybe. Not sure, but yeah, Tatsulo, he's not bad, but I mean, you got Kamfar. I get that. I get what dilemma you're at now because you have him, and then you got Kamfar, and then you got Bullis. Okay, so hmm. Okay, tricky question. Are you spending or are you playing free to play? That's gonna help me out a lot because the one thing I don't want you to do is to put yourself into a resource like pit because if you're trying to like for real build legendaries, it's gonna be some grinding for sure. That's even gonna make it more imperative to push campaign at that point because you need runes from there. And then of course like pushing up higher on like dungeon difficulties and stuff like that. Okay, so if that's where you're capped at right now, and you're like, hey, I'm good right now. I think to be honest, it's gonna help you a ton in terms of your resources. I really honestly think um, your epics are gonna be the way to go. You have some really really good epics. Um, Alexu is actually not like he's really not bad. I think currently right now he has like one of the hardest hits in the game for some reason. I don't know why, but that's I guess more in PvP, but he still hits really really good in PvE too. Ricklo or Sunspot is really solid as well. He has some pretty good AOE's and he's burn, but yeah, I would say out of the damage, those would definitely be your two main sources of damage. Serene is good, but I feel like she's better for bossing because she doesn't have anything that really hits multiple things. So she's great though. Oh, sorry. What is that? She's great though for bossing. Hold on one sec, guys. Sorry guys, that was the misses. I had to answer that. Hey, listen, I can't get beat up on you guys' um for you guys, you know. Hey, listen, I think every guy is scared of their other half, you know. So I try to make sure everything is good, you know. You see how fast I muted and I scurried? You seen that, right? But yeah, so yeah, like I was saying though, just in terms of like even your hills, like you have Usasa, which is really good too. Trying to think here, but yeah, damage wise, it's gonna be Aletsku and Sunspot. Like either one of those would be fine. I would definitely still say I always still think that pushing your starter is great because you need them for tower too. Like that's the other thing. Like you have Danos. Danos is great for content pushing, dude. Like he's great for campaign. He's great in Spire. He's really good in bossing. Like you really can't go wrong with building Danos, and he's cheap. He's cheap. He's super cheap to build. Um, like Danos is great. So I would say like out of your epics though, like the ones you could prio, I think Confar as your front tank is great. He works perfectly. He also offers you a little bit of damage too. So that's you're great there. Now the other thing too, you have what's his name? Craval as well. Craval has what's it called? Harden and willpower. So those would be pretty good. I'm not gonna give you too much. Confar, I think Danos would be great. Alexu can work or Sunspot as your other unit that you have, and then I would build an alternate attribute just in case. Um, which that could be. I mean, that could be like if you wanted to build her, you could do it. Serene could work because you could also use her for bossing or Gilead. A Galad as well. I should call him Gilead. Galad as well. He's actually really good. He also will transition well into like a really good early PvP unit for you too. Because he has disable and there's another effect he has that's really annoying. He buff strips like crazy too. Um, Let me see. He has disable and something else. Cause I was fighting him and he is just a pain. Um, Jinx. So he has Jinx and he also has disable. Buff Still and Mindworm. So yeah, Mindworm basically disables passives, which is really strong, and Jinx blocks somebody from receiving buffs. Extension of debuffs, and then also can buff still, which is like really insane. He has pretty good damage too. He's one of the newer units that was added into the game, so yeah, he's actually pretty good to have. Um, and then it's like Karan is a great support. Yeah, he is. He is. You said so far, Comfar, Dano, Sunspot. I just mentioned what's his name? I keep calling him. It's not Gilead. It's Volgar. I've been calling him Galad for some reason, but it's Volgar. My bad. It's or Vagar. Vagar is how you say it. Or Vagur. I guess pronunciation, whichever one you want to pick. So, oh, the one with Harden. Oh, Craval. Craval. That one is right next to your Danos. He's actually a really good support too. But like that's the thing too, Milton. He doesn't really have issues so much with supports as of the moment. Because two of his 5 stars are supports and they're pretty good. He also has Fulric too. And he has Zorak. So I don't think there is one yet. Not yet. I would assume they're probably gonna add one at some point just to make life easier for people. But as of the moment, there's no like dedicated I'm assuming like one where you can like kind of gear swap and save options. Yeah, we don't have that yet. I would think we'll probably get that at some point though, because yeah, this game is definitely going to be a gear extensive for sure. Um, so mm, Comfar, Sunspot. So you got your damage. I would do. You need a healer. When you're running for hills, it's your. I don't think Quinto has Quinto. Mm, yeah, you need sustain. So you might have to use your Stoneheart because I think he actually does heal. No, he doesn't. He just debuffs. Yeah, you need sustain. You if you need sustain, um, you have Fulric. Fulric, I think honestly might be the move for you just because, and I mean I'm using him right now. He has shield and he has heals. So that's like really good too. Sonar is actually cheaper. You could continue to push with Sonar and be fine because that is cheaper. But if you were like, I need something extra, you have Foric. Foric is really good. Heals and shield. The other two that like supports that you got are good, but they're not sustainers. They're buffers and debuffers. So that's the type of supporters they are. Um, Usasa, I think Usasa has outright better healing, but Fulric has combination shield and heal. The thing about having shield that I like is that if I get hit with a heal block, I can still shield. If you get hit with a heal block, and you only heal, uh, yeah. So that's kind of that's how I at least look at things. Is like, what extra layering can I get? That's like, I guess, sustain outside of what I just naturally do. But she's still great. Either one can work though. I mean, you're not gonna find too many scenarios like that, but I think of those types of things. So granted, in this case and scenario, Forward is the only one I could get. So there's that, and nothing I could do about that. But yeah, Usasa is still great too. I use her on my first account as my sustain, and she's actually pretty still good. Um, you said I would eventually use her as food. Wait, use who as food? Would you say using a 2-star wind support, heals and shields? You said still get sonar. Yeah, scaling at the end of the day is still going to be a thing too. So that's like rares versus the epics versus the legendaries, higher base stats and stuff like that too. You said, have you been saving pools? No, not for this account. I usually push my pity, which is 60 pools, and then I start saving after that. Because this event, like, and then also after, I doubt we're gonna have a back-to-back chase. And if it is, I'll just skip it, really. Because you have to have time to be able to save, and you need the pool to know what you're gonna possibly build to go through Spire, which is a big source of your income on your account. So yeah, it's kind of that more than anything. It's a recommended party comp in terms of number of tanks, DPS supports, 4 and 5-star teams, hero teams. It depends on the team, right? Like, so you have some units that have way more utility and they're able to support and tank at the same time, or tank on damage. But a lot of the times, like when you shift into, like, say from the early game into insane, right? Deep insane. You start looking at having double supports. You need more heals because there's so much incoming damage. One healer sometimes can't upkeep it, especially in the early investments of your healer. So people will usually run double supports in the latter portions of campaign progression. But in early, yeah, it's like what Milton's saying. Like, it's like one tank, one support, and then 2 damage dealers. So I don't really think it's so much about the rarity even as you go further. It's really more so about that. It's like, even if you have you could have the tankiest team and they're just not doing any damage. Like that's the one thing. So it's usually one damage dealer that you're keeping alive, and it might be a long run, but you're clearing the stage, right? Or longer run, but you're still clearing the stage. Um, so like for example, if I can give you a rough estimate of my times, right? And I'm currently on my main account, and what insane? I'm currently in chapter 8 of insane. I just haven't bothered pushing further. But like the hardest chapter floor that I did took me 5 minutes almost. It was 4 minutes and 49 seconds. And my team is literally, and even in some cases, it's kind of almost more than, because my team right now is 3 supports and 1 damage dealer. I'm not even running a tank. It does also depend too on the units, I would say. Like I'm running Aspro, Sebastian, Nerval, and then I'm running Thal, which I could really swap the damage for anybody. It could be, I could put Danos in there if I really wanted to. But yeah, I'm running a buffer that also still heals. I'm running a healer that then also still buffs and debuffs. And then I'm running a shielder that also has unkillable. Like, that's the other thing too. Like when a lot of people, unless you got lucky and you pulled it early, Nerval is going to change a lot of players' accounts, to be honest, because she has unkillable and she also has a revive in her kit. That is just that night and days progression and survivability for runs. So what gets me the most points in the new player tournament? I feel like it's between gear and like, I know summoning a 5-star gives you like a crazy chunk. It gives you like 70K just for summoning a 5-star. I think it's the first time though. But I think it's going to be gear for the most part. I think that actually gives you the highest burst from what I've seen. That's been most of my push for the tournament. It's been gear, like leveling up gear. Yeah, that's been where a lot of my points have come from. I'm currently almost at like 300 plus K. So you said, I feel the mindset for this game is a PvP campaign, and is for this game is PvP campaign, and second team is a boss team. Wait, you mean PvE, and then can't? I mean, to be honest, I mean, you really the way it goes is that PvE facilitates PvP. Right. So the better you do at PvE allows you to perform or do more PvP. I after all this time really didn't start getting into PvP. It took me a little while because even doing 2 teams, like say bossing, your main team more than likely will be whatever you use to boss, because the idea of building 2 teams and one being boss and then one being campaign push, the problem is you need to do Spire first. So Spire is probably one of, I would even argue it's more of a priority than gear dungeons, because you can just get gear from campaign if that's the case, right? Like the main sets you're really caring about is vampire set, the accuracy set, attack, and HP. Those sets, those sets alone, you're set, right? No, you're good, Milton. Yeah, those sets alone you're set, right? Like you got your sustain set, you got your set that's going to help you land stuff, and you got the 2 sets that technically have they don't have diminishing returns like the other sets do. So HP is still going to be the better 5 bonus set for you to use in a lot of cases, because you can always still build damage values. And then attack is still just obviously great because it doesn't have like a crazy diminishing return. Like again, like when you look at like combo speed versus, skill recovery versus monogen versus what's it called? Crit and crit damage and stuff like that. So, and even hitting crit and crit damage, it just depends on what you have. Do you have somebody that's closing that gap, maybe giving you a 30% buff? Or do you have a good enough pieces to give you enough crit for that build to make sense? Because if you don't have the ability to hit the threshold on crit, you're just better off doing more attack. So yeah, it's a lot of factors. It's a lot of factors. But yeah, those campaign is super important into Spire. And in Spire, you're building, that's 5 teams just from Spire. usually how I try to do it, and if you kind of look at my account, I try to make my core team different attributes simply because I know I'm going to have to make them all do something for each respective tower. I'm not going to use this core team on tower. They're going to be separated. So it's kind of one of those things, you know, and I really think like the sweet spot for Spire is like 50. Like floor 50 is pretty feasible. And then after that, like you can like start kind of tweaking things to be a little bit more specific, building alternate damage dealers. Cause like, okay, this one doesn't really have a kit that's suited to this boss's gimmicks. Even looking at like characters have different tolerances. I feel like that's when that all starts to come in play, for sure. Cause you are going to have to start factoring in tolerances and all that jazz. But up until that point, it's just kind of like, it's not too crazy. Excuse me. So, all right, when we get to the end of this, I got to manual it. There's no way I can let this auto the end. You said, wait, hold on. Did I miss? Says so Red Riot would be preferable to a Tamana or Vakia. Red Riot is actually really good. You say you want to hear my thoughts on Hasuna? That's a Cambion unit? Nope, it's not. Who's Hasuna? Like tree. Yeah, who's Hasuna, bro? Oh, she's an epic? I don't think I've seen this character then, or I might have overlooked her. Oh, the Dark Hasuna. See, yeah, I got to get better with some of these characters' names. And you said for PvP? And high elo? Ultimate mana. Chain defense down. That actually might be kind of annoying. No, okay, so this is the question though. How much accuracy would you need for that though, Waffles? Because okay, so that is a crazy ability for PvP. Being able to yeet mana from people is kind of crazy. But you know, in high elo like that, people start building resistance. So, I mean, I guess it just depends at that point on like how much resistance versus how much accuracy I guess you have, because yeah, you need accuracy for the mana loss pull, but that would actually be kind of annoying. That's actually kind of annoying. And so if you're at 20, because I'm not even at 28, I think the highest I got was like 24. So you're much higher than I am. So those guys, I don't even think I can beat any of those guys at like 28 right now. So you would know a little bit better than me on how often your stuff is landing. Because if you can get enough accuracy to get her to land that, because she gets it to where she's taking 100 ultimate mana at max. That's just kind of funny. Yeah, that's kind of funny. And then being able to increase the cooldowns on a target by 25 seconds. It's random, but it's each hit. And it's AoE. That's toxic. Okay, so if her stuff lands, she actually would be a problem. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually kind of problematic. I think the biggest thing though is like how fast you can get that. So you would need I think, when does she need like skill speed or skill recovery for that too then? Because you really, what does her combo do? She has radius damage. That's it. Okay, yeah. So you would be wanting to get those skills up like immediately. you would have to get those skills off immediately. So that is actually kind of like, yo, but who? Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait to at some point. I'm hoping this is wishful thinking. I want to meet whoever it makes some of the character kits, bro, because the fact they gave her a A1 that has an increased cooldown, and then gave her an AoE with a increased cooldown on active skills is crazy. Like that is so like so you just don't want them to go? That's funny. Yeah, dude, that's like that's actually kind of crazy. That definitely feels a lot more PvP. But then she has pull with chaining and then defense break too. So yeah, that's a sleeper. I don't think I've seen her. I personally haven't seen her in even the higher elo of of arena yet. So she might be one of those sleeper units that could low key shut some stuff down if built right. And I'm almost certain a lot of people aren't probably paying her any mind, to be honest, because you're the first that's brought her up. So yeah, that might be something. That's also the other thing too. Like, and I would also want to prefix that too, guys. Like, we're still in a state of the game where stuff stuff can still be created. Like there's no not every synergy or strategy is set in stone, right? Like you could still theory craft and come up with some crazy stuff. Like it's not all figured out. There's a good amount of things figured out, but there's still a lot of things that they're still adding more units to the game. There's going to be a whole bunch of different things that are still ever evolving. You said, so I'm not sure who the 6 star between Rick Lowe and Alescu said the choice is so hard. Well, I feel like, I mean, honestly, both are good. I really, really honestly can't emphasize that enough. Alexu, I think, is just more, is going to be more along the lines of your outright damage, whereas with Sunspot, it's going to be more, obviously, DOT. So I think that that's kind of the thing. The big thing though with Alexu is also his ult. That's like the big thing with him. His ult does a pretty good amount of damage, and then you also have obviously like his combo attack is like pretty good too. But yeah, there's really honestly like if you're looking at like campaign pushing, um, you already have the like I said the Danos. So even if you picked up a character and they're a little bit more single target, it's still fine because you could use them to boss. And that's the thing I think that you'll get a little bit more TLC with Alexu is that you'll just be able to use them a little bit more. Um, because there are some bosses that like when you're trying to burn them, they will absolutely penalize you. I think Authar has bleed penalty, and I think Sakayo has burn penalty. It actually, I think for Sakayo, it makes him rotate his skills faster, which is just not a good thing because that man will literally buff himself until you just can't really do anything about it. And then Althar, I think if you bleed proc Althar, he gives himself like invincibility or something. It's just something you don't want to do. So yeah, that's what you got to deal with. That was kind of like some of the stuff they did to balance out bleed and burn. Um, because before it was like insta melting those bosses, but now there's actual like penalties that you have to deal with. And then another thing you could also do too is always a safe thing bet I would say is taking characters to 50, see how you like them because that's the other thing too. You got to play these characters. I always say the best thing you can do is like take them up a little bit, see how you like them, and then go from there. Um, because some characters may not execute what you're looking for um, with the other units that you're pairing them up with too. But I would say generally though, those characters are good. They're not bad. Oh yeah, he's done. Um, he said the fastest I can get her is like 460, so 60% on the recovery. So, hmm. I mean, I'm assuming that's like the highest, right? Like you can get for right now. So, hmm. Cause that's the only thing is like, I don't know if you would want combo speed at that point so that you can get to your ult faster, or if you can, hmm, or if you want to go monogen so you get more per hit that you do. But I would say it would probably then be a matter of like it'd probably be combo speed, I would think, so that you could try to get your ult quicker or your skills quicker. And that's with 320, only with 320 accuracy. Mm. Mm. You said, do you know about instincts as a stat? It just affects your AI. That's what instincts is. Um, yeah, it affects you. It basically is like if your character dodges stuff. You said Tesla had a so you wish she had a second AOE. Her ult heal is massive, but does not come back quick enough for some stages. So I'm pairing her with Zathia right now, and the heals don't keep up on Authar. Or are you talking about on Insane? Okay, so the only things I can think of that could be causing that issue is the build that you have her currently at, and then also skill up investment too. Because depending on the unit, like let's take her for example. Um, if we look at Eldrin and her ult, right? So yeah, it's gonna be. I would definitely say it's probably gonna end up being. Yeah, it's gonna definitely be the build then because your ability to be able to get your to get mana back quick enough for you to be able to ult again is going to be obviously pairing, but then you start looking at like your combo speed versus how much more mana gen do I have versus um like I would say it's really those two things because combo speed generates a ton of mana, but mana gen can increase how much mana you're generating per hit that you're doing with things like your combo or your skills. So it's going to be more than likely one of those things to close the gap. And then it's not really anything duration wise that's changing. Like the times don't increase. It's the attack buff that gets an increase, but it's not like a region heal or anything like that. You said you have her ult maxed out. She's Paragon 3. Yeah, so Paragon 3 plus Monogen 5 gear. So and Paragon 3 is isn't that ally gear? Hold on. Yeah, isn't Paragon like ally gear? Do gear. Yeah. Yeah, ally movement speed. So I feel like the monogen is okay, but like you might be better with and you know what also might help you too? And I didn't think about it, your trophies. That's what's gonna make a difference for you too. Um because trophies, that's like you can't there's not really too many other places you can get combo speed. So that'll help as well. Once you start getting your trophies maxed out for combo speed on your attributes, whatever attribute, which she's fire, it's gonna help her out a lot. It's gonna be trophies. So that I would say like it's either that and or throw a combo speed piece and see how if that affects her in some way. If not, then it's gonna be I would say that, and then you could look at because I don't really think you need the. And wait, you said you're running a 3 Paragon and then you're running a 5 mana. I don't think you need to run a 5 mana though. Do you have mana gen on her? like on her chest gauntlet or like what are your stats that you're running right now? He says, "Is it possible to XP farm or our X or farm XP potions to upgrade the level of our character?" Campaign is where you farm them. You turn the booster on, and the highest stage of campaign that you can do is where you basically get. I mean, granted, everything gives you XP, but campaign has the highest yield. So it's the highest one that you can do. So that is the XP grind. I'll say another way you can get XP is from commons. So when you summon with wild stars, whenever you decide to do that, sell all your commons. Commons do have a ton of XP that they end up stacking. So like, let's see, we'll do this real quick. I'll show you. I forgot how many it takes, but I know after you do like a little collective group, starts handing you those 20k pots. All right, we got another recce. All right, so yeah, and wild stars build up pretty quick. Like I had, especially like once your account's built, like I had blasted like 2.7k, and I'm already back at 1,000, and that was like a week ago. I did that. So once your account is established, it's not bad. Let me see here. Okay, so let's do dupe. File sort, common. Let's do this. Profile, dismiss. Oh, it made me do it from here. All right, let's see. All right, so so it's like every, what's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's not bad. So yeah, it's already a 20k large pot for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So yeah, commons do yield EXP. And then we'll dismiss that. And then, yeah. So that's another way you can get EXP, because I know some people they'll try to like take things up from yeah, there's no common that stand out where they're like super cheese and do like, no, there's no commons that are that good. And even just in terms of base stat scaling, you barely want to do it with uncommons, but commons are definitely absolutely not. You just get rid of those. Now, I will say though, this is something worth thinking about, but it's something you can always do at some point because it's not hard to get commons. Um, there is going to possibly be content where they might say you can only use uncommons. You can only use commons. I don't know if they're going to go that far down, but I almost am certain they're going to do it with uncommons. They might, obviously they're going to do it with rares, and they're going to definitely do it with like epics and legendaries. But the nice thing is that with with commons, they're super easy to get. Like, so you're not like sitting there stressed, like, oh man, I got rid of this one, I can't get them again. It's fine. But as of right now, we don't have it, and it just will fill up your box, and you can't do anything with it at that point. So, uncommons though, you can still use as food so that you can take things up. And you could also look at it from like the echo stand point of view too. Like, I don't think I even have. I don't think so. Yeah, okay, I do have them. So you could work them up if you needed to. Like if you need to use them as food, there are whatchamacallit, echoes for the base. But I usually just start from here. I think this is definitely more of an early game thing though. Because later on I don't ever use common echoes for anything. You say your monogen is 144, skill recovery is 1. So I think the monogen is a good spot. I think it's like 140 to 160 it needs to be at, depending on the unit. And skill recovery is like I think skill recovery is like 120. So that's actually a good spot. So yeah, it might just be it might be your trophies, which is gonna take time. Are you also using 5-star gear as well, or is that 4-star gear? Which one is it? Yeah, Yeah, which one you said? What do you get the most points in new player? What gets you the most points? Let's actually take a look. I think it's actually, like I said, I think it's gear, because I'm not sure if it was you that asked that question before, but um, let's see. So let's see, 500, 1,000. Well, we're not gonna use that unless you're spending. I mean, there's obviously Divine Star. That's like 3K, 2K, 2 to 3K, depending on what you're summoning. It said a number of them are 4-star time. Yeah, so 5-star scales like quite a bit. Like that it is night and day. Even like a gray 5-star piece is better than a 4-star in a lot of cases. So that's why I was like, I was like, something sounds off, because I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, you should be able to get her healed back up, because she's a really good healer. But yeah, 4-star gear versus 5-star gear, it is a big difference. And I'm gonna presume the same thing is gonna happen with 5-star gear. There's gonna be, or 6-star gear. It's gonna be a big difference between 5 and 6-star gear. So summoning does give you a pretty good points, but like as far as what you realistically be able to do, gear is pretty good. Misty's not going to be your best friend, nor is Crest. Arena is going to give you some points, but yeah, it's going to be gear. Gear up. This is like the probably the easiest amount of points for you to collectively get. Like period. Invoker power up does give you gear, but or points, but you're not powering up a whole bunch of high rarity stuff as often, so that's the thing. And then you're not going to be starring up a whole bunch either on like these on like from like 5 to 6-star, which is 1,500 points. Like, yeah, you're not doing that. Awakening kinda ish doing. Codex leveling, you're only really doing it on a couple of units. You're not blasting epic or legendary codexes, so that doesn't really count. So yeah, it's gonna be gear, and then any of like the first time achievement stuff, like if you summon your first legendary, that's 50K. Legendary Titan is another 50K. Mythic is 100K, which is only one, so there's that. But yeah, even these are all first times, which that is, accumulative points. But like if you're talking about like points you can just get, it's leveling gear. The thing with leveling gear though is it's even for me, I'm at almost 300K points. It was still like intentional. I wasn't just leveling everything. I was just playing and leveling the things that I needed. That was that. He's like, your fastest rush was with Confar and Danos. Yeah, Confar and Danos. Yeah. Yep. Fastest push. There's other players that also started off with Confar and Danos. I know one of the homies, Damaris, I think his name is. He's endgame too. He started a fresh account and got Confar and Danos on a start, and he got to insane in 3 days. Which was that was faster than me. It took me 4, but he did it in 3. I think it's like, again, it also is like dependent upon how much of the game you're playing all at once. Like, for me, I'm still, because we're in the beta, I'm not super try harding, so I could have definitely did this even quicker technically, I guess. But I still also have like, other IRL things that I typically do. You said, what stat should I focus first for trophies? So many options. It's going to be combo speed, because you can get the other stats from everything else. You can't get combo speed but from one of two places. It's either you get it on a main stat or you get it from trophies. You can get monogen as a substat. You can get it as a main stat. You can get it as a set bonus. You can get it from trophies. You can get skill recovery. You can get what's it called? Skill recovery main stat. You like that's like one of the stats where you legitimately only have 2 areas that you can get it from. But when you actually look at the underlying fact of how important combo speed is, it is one of the biggest sources of damage for your characters. Like, and the most consistent. Like, I'm telling you, once you start getting stuff built up and you start looking at like, okay, when you get the end and you see your statistics, look at where the stat damage is coming from. It'll tell you combo damage versus skill damage versus like then the breakdowns of each skill. So like you'll see that a lot of the times, especially once stuff you got your stuff built, it's gonna be your combo damage. It's just the thing that hits all the time for the most part. Um, he said with what support did he said what support did he do? I did mine with Sonar. I don't remember what support he used. I know he didn't use a legendary though. Um, so could have been epic support to Sonar, but I mean Sonar has always been kind of like the recommended go-to for most pushes anyway. So his heal is like great to be honest. Um he said that's why I love Quinto attack up and combo speed up. That's what I was saying. Like he's not bad at all. And those are two values that attack doesn't have a diminishing return, and combo speed is one of the hardest things to get anywhere else. You're either going to have it on the gear or you get it from trophies. So when you have characters that can buff it, that's going to make a world of a difference in how your team may be able to perform in something. And you might even be able to come up with some really funky, like, PvP setups with that too, because combo speed is such a big deal. And you got to think about the fact that combo speed is also really nice because some characters have, and not some, but legendaries will have typically a fifth skill in a way. It's not really I guess it's an effect on their combo attack, the fifth one. And that is pretty important. Like that really does, depending on how often they're able to pop that off, that could be a matter of them being able to self-sustain themselves quicker, a matter of extending buffs, extending debuffs. It could be cooling down active skills. Yeah, there's a lot of value that comes out of your combo attack. So Titans with combo speed are they are. Defense break, combo speed, accuracy Titans are great too. Depending on what you're doing, the Titan value like will shift. Like there's like some Titans depending on what supports you're building. Like Nerval's Titan has a bound effect for HP. It's just more bulk. So it just again is that the inbound, like the bound effect, and then the invocation end effect is really important. And then also if they have anything, which they typically do, whatever their combo attack effect is also pretty important too. The skills matter as well, but again, it's just the things that either are perma in the fight, and then the thing that happens the most consistent. That's why like Litra is so good, is because that combo attack is every other hit is a defense break. So it's just constant resetting of your damage window basically, or amped damage window opportunity. So yeah, it's like those little factors do make a big deal. They absolutely do. Let's see here. But yeah, so yeah, that's like the thing with this game, man. And that's why like I've been having like all the months I've been playing and just learning and trying to have as much fun as I can with it. I genuinely started this game for self-enjoyment, right? Like, and I continue to play it for self-enjoyment, but that's the thing I like about it, is that there's so many different factors that can make things good. And I'm still learning stuff, which is the cool thing. Like, there's so many things that can make something good or not good or better than you thought it was. And it's really rare where we have, like, and granted, it's like there's going to be probably some things they tweak or change over time. But overall, it's really rare when you have a game where a lot of things just kind of work. Usually there's like that one thing where it's like, I don't know, or a few things, not even just one, where like, I don't know, they probably gonna have to change that. But for the most part, a lot of stuff just kind of works. And then, like I said, with 6-star gear coming and accessories, hitting certain thresholds are going to be a lot easier. And I don't know, like accessories could also significantly boost, the gear, the gear boon that you get, I guess, for on your character. So I don't know, like if that's going to be a rarity thing or not, or what it may or may not be. So that farm campaign and then level up gear almost at 500k points. With that should win easy. Yeah, so that's another thing too. Like farming and getting those gear drops, like from campaign, like you're gonna get a lot of points from farming there. The nice thing too that I would say to coincide that with is just make sure you're on a stage where you're getting runes for a character that you actually are trying to build. As long as you make sure that's all in alignment, you should be able to get a good chunk of points. That's where my points today kind of skyrocketed because I was actually farming a good bit of campaign. So between that and then leveling up gear, it's really good. Um, you said campaign you farm stuff and XP potion. Oh yeah, potions. So much. Yeah, it's a lot of value in campaign. Like campaign gives you a lot of value. You got. I mean, like I said, you get XP from everywhere, but it's like the boost of it or the amount or quantity, I should say, that you get is just really really high. And then I'm not gonna do chest this run. I'll just let them clear. And then you also have like the runes, you have the gear, you have what else drops? Gold, right? So like it gives you a fair amount of stuff that you just kind of need. Memoriam drops too. So do. Yeah, see, like that's the thing. Like this, like these stages are gonna be fine, but that one stage where they had the timer was just kind of dumb. I have to come back and at least get 2-star on some of these stages. And I forgot with my main account I was doing something too. Okay, no, we did that. Let me see progress. Oh, I just gotta get one more star. Okay, I'll let this auto in the background. Yeah, it's kind of crazy though running 2 accounts for this game. Like that's a thing. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. Waffles, I'm just now seeing your build, bro. So you got 290 on the accuracy. I feel like that should be enough. Do you think getting like close to 3 might be like a little over 3? But I mean, yeah, I mean that's kind of hard for allocation. That's just gonna be getting lucky on like a gear roll. Um, but other than that, that seems like kind of crazy, dude. Yeah, that's actually insane. Because I just think it just all depends on who she's hitting into. That's I guess like team placement, and she's gonna be matched up with somebody probably on the outside. I don't know if she would go. I mean, does your team consist of a tank? Because I guess that's the bigger question. Do you have a like who's your front liner? I guess because if she goes front, I would be interested to try to test that one. Like, well, Skolos is kind of dumb, but yeah, I would I would try to test that on him just to see if it works. Yeah, he said straight up doesn't work where she needs duality, equal parts, res, accuracy, way too squishy. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I figured she was gonna be on the outside. Um, yeah, that's the only thing. And then if you factor in like her ability though, she has wasn't it pulling in her kit too? Because that's another thing as well. And that's one thing I noticed too. Like you have to like kind of run your team because depending on if you got pulls and stuff like that, that can like there's this one guy I fight in arena and I don't know if he really knows, but he cooks himself because he pulls my when he uses his pull ability, it actually pulls it force aggro's my Thal a different way, but then my Thal will walk away from him and then will go and kill one of his main damage dealers that would normally probably kill me. He'll just go over there and just like and one tap him. And I'm like, dang, I wonder if he knows if he wasn't pulling or if he at least had it focused on another character, like maybe swap the slots with his other character. But then again, it's like I don't know who he's typically fighting, so he might not care about me much. But it's just like little stuff like that. Like placement is just kind of a crazy big deal, low key, I guess. Um, let's see, Sana, because she has a chain with a pull with a chain. So yeah, that's the only thing is just like where and how is that working for it? It can last at max 14 8 seconds. Okay. You said imagine having a reliable front tanker. Wait, do you not have one though? Is that like the is that like a current bottleneck for you right now? Because I'm not gonna lie, like yeah, my front tank. Who's my front tank? The fact I yeah they for PvP. Hold on. Right now, oh, I'm not even using a tank right now. Like I don't have a front tanker that's super invested at the moment that I would like to use for PvP. I probably should just build up. Yeah, it's kind of slow for me right now. It's either build Ruthos or have no tank. That's that's kind of where we're at. Um, is there any specific stage you like farming or just general progression? Depends on who I'm trying to build, or what I'm trying to build. Like for me right now, I'm building Celissa, so she's an Eldrin. Um, so that's like chapter one. I would definitely say like the standout sets for me. It's like HP set. I kind of live by that set. But I also think that like the vampire set is really good. I think that that's a really good set for just giving your damage dealer some sustain outside of healing. The accuracy set is going to be really, really important, especially getting a accuracy chess piece because a accuracy like the chess piece number one is the only place you can roll accuracy outside of the substat. So yeah, a lot of the times when it's a character you need them to be landing things, you are going to go accuracy chess piece. That's usually the general consensus there. Um, Outside of that, I mean, I will say like into insane when you can get 5-star drops. Some people have used insane to get crit rate gear. That is a thing. Crit damage gear, I feel like is not as crazy to get to drop, but maybe for some people. But like, yeah, chapter 7 drops crit rate gear, and I know some people that have farmed crit rate gear from here to get their foundation crit gear. Because the thing about the dungeons, and this is why I really don't push dungeon farming right off rip, because you got to think about when you're farming Ogerum, you're not just farming attack or HP set, you're farming crit set, you're farming the Paragon set, and then these 4 tolerance sets. Now, the tolerance sets are nice. They can help you with some content, but they only are applicable to characters that already have the tolerance. So if a character doesn't have a tolerance, you can't just give them a tolerance set and then they now have crush tolerance. It doesn't work that way. So they're I guess by the intention of them, they're to enhance or yeah, basically to enhance a value that a character already has. So also Gladstone, Belmar, Tatsulo, you tell me. Oh wow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that yeah, okay. That's fair. Touche. Touche. The fact you put Belmore on the list just means it's kind of down bad at that point. Like the especially for PvP. Like that just seems like he shouldn't even be in the conversation. You said at what stages should you start farming dungeons? So I would say for me personally, it's really going to be like right now I'm at almost 6 and I haven't even really been trying. I would really say when you have the opportunity to really try to get 5-star pieces to drop, like you're gonna probably do a little bit of Ogerum. Like the way I did it was I did a little bit of Ogerum before I shifted into Authar, but ultimately I would say Authar is where I really started to kind of like farm a little bit more. I kind of cared about getting the higher tier of vampire and really accuracy set. Accuracy set was what I really cared about more so from here. Crit damage set is also not bad, but you have to have again the ability to hit those crit values. So I didn't really start farming crit damage set until I got Sebastian, and then once I got Sebastian, I was cool. If you're at 9, it's decent. It's RNG either way though. So being at 9 is pretty good. To be honest, you do have a fair chance of getting 5-star drops. So you said accuracy set on debuffer DPS. It depends on what you already have in the team versus what you don't. So, and if they're also the only DPS on the team. So, like, okay, take for example, one I use, I think he's actually a perfect example. Zalasi. Okay, so you got to think of it in this way. Any unit that debuffs and does damage, if their debuff is like a defense break, for example, they're naturally going to do a good chunk of damage anyway because of the defense break. So you can actually emphasize accuracy and it not be like, oh, they're not doing any damage. Granted, if you have a unit, like if I put my Zelasi next to my Thao will out damage him. But that's because Thao is built for pure damage and Zelasi's built to land debuffs, right? Um, so hold on, let me see real quick. Let's go to index. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, I don't know why. Wait, why is that? I don't know why my game's lagging all of a sudden. Hold on. I didn't do anything. Joe don't say. Oh, okay. We love lag. Why is this happening? Hold on, I might have to restart my game. Ricklow will be better. Comfar Comfar can have it as long as you have enough sustain on him. But to be fair, like yeah, Ricklow would be better just because Ricklow, you just need him to land burn, and then the damage all on its own takes place from the burn, right? All right, hold on. I'm gonna try to reset my game. I don't know why I was doing all that. Okay. Maybe hold on, let me do this. We're going to restart LD. All right, there you go. Yeah, I would definitely say like with Ricklow, it's his main job is to be burning. That's like the rest of the damage kind of takes place after it hits the opponent and then whatever HP value they have, right? And then you get those ticks. With I would say Comfar, that is kind of like if he's going to be your front tank, then yeah, you want him to be surviving basically. But yeah, a little accuracy on him isn't the worst thing. Like you can still build him on you could still do like tank values on like say go HP accuracy, like a 5 bonus HP and a 3 bonus accuracy. You still get some fulfillment for your accuracy. But then the values on the gear can still be like say HP defense or something like that. That would allow you to still get some of that bulk if you were looking for that. But also too, I think Comfar also has some attack scaling as well, so you could kind of mix him a little bit. But if you were just literally like, I just want him to sustain and tank, right? Like that's all I want him to do. Then you can kind of like, and then I guess kind of like getting the damage from the burn. Yeah, you can use set values to kind of help manipulate that a little bit. It doesn't have to be like outright. I'm gonna, build him full send accuracy set and accuracy chess piece and all that stuff. Isn't the evoker event tonight or tomorrow? Oh, yes. I would wait. Don't use your radiant star. There's a summon surge that is coming tomorrow. Tomorrow, well, for me it'll be for me tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. So that might be tomorrow night for some of you guys. You said too late. Yeah, that's a good chunk of points. Because that actually gives you how much is it to 5 plus. Let's say like you got lucky and it was a legendary and then also radiant on a 2 times. Um that would be 5,000 points if you scored a legendary and used a radiant. That's actually kind of a lot. That's kind of crazy. Um, But even if it was just an epic, that would still be like 3K points. Even with that, that would have still been. That would have been around like 2,500. Yeah, that would have been around 2,500 on the 2 times. So you finally unlocked Insane. Congrats on that, dude. Yeah, Insane is just once you're there, you're there, you know? Okay, so now we can finish this mission. And I think I literally have one more chapter and then I'll be an Insane. Or I gotta finish this chapter and then I'll be an Insane. I was just trying to get to this next page so I can actually increase my nodes. So then now at that point, my Fulric will actually be a god. He'll actually be good. What's your team looking like as of the moment, Dragon? You got, I'm assuming what, a full team of 5 stars right now? No, we don't. Wait, I just need to solo this. I don't need I'm like so accustomed to going after the chest. I'm like starting to chest chase. Yep. All right. Finish that, and then I just have to send a 5-star over here, and then that'll be good for my main account. And I'll probably save my energy. I'll probably do my dailies and then save my energy for tomorrow morning, and we'll be good to go. All right. All right. All right. Is that full team of 5 stars? Let's see. Okay, so we got that done. Boop. Oh no, we need one more. I thought we got it. That's not. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, I think right now I'm pushing towards the 5th 5-star, which after pushing all these stages, I should be able to do it. It just seems so necessary but unnecessary at the same time. I gotta like that sky view right there too. You say you got 8 5-stars? Oh yeah, so that's pretty good. So are you able to push for 5-star gear? Once I'm done with this half of this next chapter and then chapter after that, I'll be able to go into starting to work on 5-star gear. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, cool. All right, and that will put me at 2. Yeah, so now we got to do the rest of the campaign hard. Send Rue and the level. What did I just press? I pressed something being too fast. Okay. Here. And I'll make another. Actually, I can start getting rid of some of these now. That. And where did she go? Oh, here it is. All right, that is 1. And we gotta do 1 more. then we need 3, so we'll do this real quick. Boom. So did we get a big reward in the summon event? So I think I might troll that and spend 200 before the event. You get, well, okay, so the main thing with it is the mileage bar. I think you might get a divine from it at the end, or a legendary codex. Is one of the two. I think it might be a legendary codex. But that's what you get. I mean, that, and then of course the ranking, like leaderboard stuff. Like if you're actually trying to compete on that, then there's that too. So it just really depends on your wants and needs, and if you even really care that much about this chase. Because I would say, like for example, if you were like really like trying to aim to get the crowns for Tyrannus, then you would absolutely be trying to milk that. Like you would want the double dip, you would want the points for the crown on the 2 times, and the mileage bar. So that's why I haven't, like me, I haven't rushed it, because I've been double dipping. So like whatever respective chase you do, you're gonna want to double dip. Unless again, if you have purchase power, you don't have to do it as much, because like for example, like some people finish the Tyrannus chase in like the first few days, like or first couple days really. So I remember, I think it was like the first or second day I'd seen people getting them. So I was like, dang. And the event lasted for 3 weeks. So yeah, that was its own thing. But okay. So we got that. We got that. We got, do we need one more? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we need one more. So we're not have them anyway. Yeah, so I mean, like considering if like you're talking about like especially on a fresh account, you're trying to get things like established and stuff like that. That's like I said, I know in the free to play sense I usually pull, but if that's something you're going to be doing, then you just kind of factor in like, okay, this event's coming up, I'm going to stockpile whatever, you know, I'm going to be using to kind of push the event, I guess is the thing. Okay, yeah, I guess it was necessary to do that. This, that, ascend, and then that is that. And then the next one is the level 50, which I would probably end up doing Humi, because that is our win DPS, and she has our good old attack break. And I don't think I have any other fates here. Am I close to a summon achievement? 3 rares. Okay, we can try. Maybe we get lucky. Yeah, maybe we get lucky and get a rare. Okay, so I did forget about that. And I just sell this for EXP too. There's also a good chance I could get I actually could use, if I cared. If I was actually getting Tyrannus, I should be using this for the summon event, because you can actually use Wild Stars and get them. Okay, nice. We got Morriga, so we'll use her. Nope, we're not getting lucky right now. All right, I'll stop there. They said, nah, fam, get out of here. So we'll take that rare. Hopefully we get an epic or something. Watch me somehow, I was about to say, watch me somehow complete a crown event. So yeah, now I got 50 crowns. That's funny. This has been like the most unintentional gaining. Oh, we got a radiant. Oh, okay. Let's see. That's gonna be good for our tower. It's probably gonna be a 3-star, which is okay, but yeah, it's something. It's something. All right, we're about to use it. All right, let's see. Boom. Do this one. Oh. Oh, Usasa. Okay. I'll take that. You know, honestly, I can't even be mad at that, because no, 2 times is tomorrow morning or tomorrow night, depending on your time zone. We'll take a Usasa. we'll take a sauce a salsa. That's actually that's actually not bad. We'll take that. Because who's my Earth Tower right now? Damage. Oh, I kind of did need a healer other than Drovis. Okay, so we're gonna use this. Let's see what we get here. Just give me Scrimp. Who the heck? Oh, this is that okay, so this is actually one of the few rares I've not had a chance to play yet. Um you said what is it two times pull? Oh, it's so basically I'm gonna low key build her. Okay, I might build her. Hold on. Hold on. Accuracy down, ultimate mana. I might build her, bro. I just might build her. I just might. I think I might. I think I might. You know, and you know why? This might be a weird reason. I this because of the hand thing. This like for this to be a rare. This is a really good design, and this is kind of giving me dude, what is this? It's like a Zelda vibe. I don't know why. I'm getting Zelda from this. I'm getting a little bit of Zelda from this, just a little bit, just a little bit. But I really think it's the hands. I think it's the hands. Like I don't know who thought of this as a concept, but this is a really cool idea, and I'm gonna build her. But you know what? Actually, she might be accuracy down might be with the. She's just gonna be pure damage for the most part, which I don't mind. But I'm gonna build her for light tower. We'll see how she does. Waffle said if I got a light LD5, he was like, nah, I quit. No, dude, yeah, no. If I would have got an LD5, that would have been insane. But I probably and it didn't you know would have made it worse? I wouldn't have used it, which is the crazy thing. Because it would throw off the progression like completely. Um but to answer your question, Tricky, the the 2x pull, it's not really so much that it's a 2 times pull. What it is I was referring to the points. So you can always generate. So with the chases, the way that they're set up is you can always get points for pulling and doing stuff, right? Like if you're summoning, if you're doing a hunt, if you're doing the Titan Surge, like whatever it is you're doing, you always get points for it. But you're getting the base points. The most optimal time to do events is when there's a 2x on, and you know a 2x is happening when the event is live. So when that event is live, that's when the 2x applies to it, and it basically doubles your points. The reason why that's important though is because it means that one of two things is going to happen. You're either spending less stamina, or you're spending less. What's it called? Summons. So that's because like for each summon you spend, the points are doubled essentially. So it significantly decreases how much you have to spend to actually do something. So if you're looking at like ways to be as efficient as possible or more efficient, you would wait until like, for example, this is our second Invoker Summon Surge in this rotation. This would be the most optimal time for you to be summoning versus outside of that, because if you were using it to go after the chase unit, it would be doubled points. And then you also have the mileage bar. So it's actually even more sweaty because, for example, with the 2X, some of these mission requirements or event progresses had more than one stack of crowns. That represented more than one rotation in the event cycle. So for the calendar, take Arena Rush. We had Arena Rush 3 times, right? So we have the next Arena Rush, the last one coming up this Friday, but that'll be the third one. So with that being said, what I did, for example, or what free to play we're doing was, to double dip. We weren't finishing the event crowns right off rip because we were basically doing it where, okay, if I do one, and this is just an example, one Arena Rush rotation, I have the Arena Rush event, I get the mileage bar, I get 1 stack of crown, then it comes back again, the same whatever energy. I would say a better example would be the hunts. The same energy I was going to use on that hunt, the next rotation of it, I'm getting the double dip of the mileage bar and then the usage of my energy. So it's just trying to maximize how we were spending our energy, basically. Um, for those that could just buy more gems and energy and just summons all day, they don't care about that. But for free to play, you do, right? You says it not better to save your pools for a real 2x event, summon event, or target legendary if you're not going for the chase. So that's the thing. We have not had like a 2 times summon event. If that, like, I think like what you're referring to is like more of like what Watcher of Realms has, or even what Raid has. I think we might be getting something maybe more relevant to that at some point. I just don't know if that. I don't know like what timeline's looking like for stuff like that, or if we're even getting it. So yeah, I don't know. But I will say like this was like our first event, so like a lot of people like you either had one or two things. You had some people that like myself was prepared for it, and you had some people that just weren't prepared. That's because like every update in between before the events, we basically were getting characters. So people would wait until that patch and then they would pull for characters. But this is our first patch cycle where we have an actual event cycle. So now we're kind of getting hip to how our events work. There could be possibly summon events that come up that are like that, where they're like boosted chances and stuff like that. We haven't gotten anything like that though, because they're still like building on the game. So I don't know what that would be like as far as like saving your currency. Is it going to be a thing where you're just like, hey, I could start saving currency for something like that? I mean, I don't know because I just don't know how long it'd be if they even consider doing something like that, let alone if it happens in the first place. So yeah, events we kind of knew were coming. I haven't really heard anything about anything like that though. So that's why it's kind of like I could confidently save for the chase versus saving for that. I don't know if you'll use your summons at that point. Like, like I just don't know. So yeah, I think it would be like kind of that versus like the certainty of something coming. And with the roadmap, they kind of told us at least all the things that they're adding up until I think about like January or so. It's possible that we could get more stuff though. Like they could say we want to implement this now, or we want to add this all before a global launch, or this is going to come on global launch. I don't know. You said Chase is hard, and I did not start the event day one. So, well, on a fresh account, it's easier if you had started day one, right? I would definitely say it's not feasible starting halfway through free to play. You just don't have enough time. With the proper time, it was definitely feasible. The only other way that you would have been able to do it with half the time cut was if you were winning your local leaderboards or if you spent. That was the only way. And a lot of people didn't realize there's an actual like kind of method to the madness when it comes. I'll let you guys in on another secret. So there is a method to tournament matchmaking. Even in the higher grouping, if you don't want a harder tournament, you usually wait. They group you according to who activates. So when you're doing the tournament, the way that your tournament activates is based off of you doing the said event like requirements. So like for example, Ogarum Hunt tournament is going to activate and it places you in a group as soon as you hit a certain threshold of points. So what a lot of people would do is they would wait until like the last day, for example, and then they would actually activate the group ranking for them. And it had a higher probability of putting them in a group that wasn't as sweaty. So they were a lot of free to plays did it that way, where they were able to actually win local groups, and so they got more crowns. I've won, I think, one local group so far. It was a little sweaty. Somebody was trying to snipe me, but it wasn't as crazy as like with some local groups when I was starting the event. As soon as I was getting put in groups with guys that were like dropping 500,000 points. And like for certain events, like 500,000 points literally would have meant I've been saving for the last 7 months versus spending or something like that. So that's like one thing you can use to kind of help you with some of these chases. It's definitely worth waiting. It does suck because it's like everybody wants to get it done or, get the mileage bar and get the codex or whatever it is you're trying to get from it. But if you're really looking to get that unit, waiting for grouping actually is really important. So yeah, that was one thing. And then even for new players, technically the points were 1/3 of what we had to do on endgame. So like even your point thresholds are just extremely low. Like when I was looking at this, I was like, dude, I got 50 crowns not even trying. So on my main account though, I've been like I literally have been like super sweating and trying to get crowns. Like I've been on top of watching my energy regen. I had to zero it so that I could be getting energy regen and stuff like that. So I've been like micromanaging it to that degree on my main account. But like, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's nice for newer players to kind of get acclimated into it, but it definitely wasn't as achievable with the time limit, unfortunately. Let's see here. Okay, we got to finish this. We're just gonna run these for the 1 star, and then we'll come back. But this will allow me to get my forward to god tier status, I think, because we're missing so much stat on him with him not being awakened. And then hold on, what did you say? Aldi, you said the hands convinced me. Oh, so you're using that chick for your Spire team too? Yeah, I just wanna. I probably will take her a little ways just so I can see how good she is. I wish she had like a crit rate buff or something in her kit. That'd been some nice extra utility for herself at least. Yeah, not doing too bad here. I gotta start doing some streams on my main account too. I'll show you guys some in game stuff at some point. Uh uh But yeah, end game is just like kind of crazy. Like it's really like, and it's crazy because we're gonna be going up floors. I'm pretty sure. So you said, did you do content on Tower of Fantasy in the past? Because I think I already saw a video of you in the past on YouTube. No, I never actually did any content on Tower of Fantasy. Um, I did content on Genshin Impact when that came out. I did Weather and Waves. I skipped TOF like completely. I never touched that game. I didn't even download it. um, yeah, so yeah, what I did Wuthering Waves. I've done a lot of games over the years. As far as big ones though, I did HSR content. I did pretty well on Genshin when that first dropped. Just wasn't really the biggest fan of how the community was. Um, so that was actually like I'm one of those guys. Like I had like the the community's toxicity was pretty bad around that time. But yeah, I was averaging like 60 to 70K when Genshin first came out on videos. And I quit just because I couldn't deal with the community. It's like one thing when it's like people just like, okay, they're being toxic. It's like, yeah, you can ignore that. But it was like I could tell the community was really young. And then like when you looked at like the community that Genshin had at the time, they were a lot of kids. So I really honestly have come to find that my group of people are in communities like this. A lot of people that demographically that play these types of games, for example, like the Raid, the Watcher of Realms, that they're gonna more than likely be playing this game. Might have a little bit of a younger audience, maybe because of the appeal. But when you have like these layered games and all these different types of processes and stuff, like the audience is a little older. So I don't know. It just seems to, for me at least, it's just a space, less drama. Um, you know, yeah, you got a couple of people that might complain about a few things, which is normal, but it's not like the obnoxious like we're gonna what's the term they use? Oh, we're gonna ratio you and all that other stuff. I'd be like, oh god. um, yo, what's up, Di? How you doing, fam? You said so yeah, I think it was on Ethereum restart. Yeah, Ethereum restart was like that was like a can we run, please? Like I'm like, why are we looking at him? Like, okay, I'm like, what is going on? Um, yeah, Etheria restart. That was like it kind of the same thing. Like not exactly the same, but I think I didn't like the direction the game was going as far as like um I'm all for like vision changing. Like I'm completely fine with that. It was a lot of things with Etheria. It was just the way they were doing the game became more fixated on just PvP. And I think that that was the thing, what we were told. And the reason why I got into it was because there was supposed to be like this balance between PvE and PvP. And then the game just became complete PvP. And so I was cool with that, but the game structure didn't match that fixation for that focal point. Oh my god, this guy. Okay, yeah, this is that stage where I'm probably gonna have to push them myself. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reset this because there's no way we're doing this without our full team. Let me redo it in manual. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing too. Was like it was a lot of it was just completely imbalanced, and I mean it still kind of is. So I mean, again, still really good friends with the developers. The producer Jack, really nice guy. Really cool with him. You see him laughing at me get one shot. Yeah, bro. That this boss does that no matter what. Like that's his gimmick. It's just he's gonna one shot your team. So good luck. And this wasn't a sustain issue. It was just straight up who we're damaging. This is why you said you've been following since Dislike. Yeah, Dislike was another one. Dislike. I actually stuck out Dislike for 3 years, 3 years after release, so a total of 4. Yeah, so I played that game for quite some time. So most games I try to tenure for a while. Like I have been playing Ethereum Restart on and off for almost 4 years. So, and that was before the release. You know. All right, we need to go over here because y'all ain't going to the right spots. Yeah, see, that's like the thing with this. Like, these are the stages where you need to get to where you need to go. Because that thing be moving. I'd be like, yo, how'd you get up already? Okay, nice. Well, why are we blocked? Did we miss one? I might have missed one. Moving too fast. Okay. Yep, I definitely am going to die here if I don't cook this. Nope, we got it. Dip. Run. Run. If I see them, like, watch me be off. Watch one of them die off screen because they're still back there. Where's yo? He died. Yo, can I get my team, please? You know what? I actually should hit that button to draw them in. That was my bad, actually. Um, you say he quit Dislike because it almost cost him his beard. Yeah, bro, you guys got my eyebrows, and then you wanted the beard too. I was like, yeah, you guys are doing a lot here. Yeah, that was actually my bad. I should have called him to me. I like forget that button actually exists. Um, okay. Yeah, that was my bad. I went up and not down. No, you don't want to keep them stacked on top of themselves long term though. That's just to move them, and then you get them to come to you, and you move them back. Nice, thank you. See, like Can we get through this door? Thank you. All right, there we go. All right, we should be good now. What are you stopping for? I'm so confused. Yeah, this really isn't a hard one. It's just you gotta stop him with the totems or stop him from doing all that totem garbage, and then he's killable. Yeah, straight nonsense. Dude ain't even hard, but he can one shot you under that totem buff. All right, there we go. Yeah, so that's like, yeah, that's there's one stage though. I don't remember if it's this one. It might be this next one. I think it's like you got to keep something alive. It's like, bro. Yeah, that button is good to draw your characters in, but I might be able to do chess on this one too. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. He said, "Does elemental disadvantage matter for supports? Do enemies target them specifically? They have Well, yeah. I mean, there's some things that just hitting everything. If we're being honest, so yeah, supports absolutely can get like destroyed by being in a scenario where they're attribute disadvantage. I think sometimes too, it just could it if you're playing manual, you have a little bit more control over like where things could be going, where some of the damage might be being aggroed. But on auto, it's a little random. Like you can't really control everything. So like in one stage, your support could not get target, and it's on a stage where it's attribute disadvantage, and it just has just enough distance where it never gets touched. But on another stage, it's a whole nother gimmick, and they're going straight past you into the back line, AOEing. They're bombs going off. Like so, it really depends on the stage, really. I will say though, like comparatively to everything else, they tend to survive longer, right? Because your tank is in the front, taking majority of the damage a lot of the times. And then of course your damage dealers are just squishier, so they're usually getting hit pretty hard anyway. I didn't even do the chest right, but it's whatever. So like a lot of the stages I was like running forward on, for example, like I would just make sure that I wouldn't like as the DPS, I wasn't too close to him. Like I just would always try to make sure I'm a little bit of ways. But when I'm playing normally, I'm usually what's it called? I'm like far away. I'm chest farming, so I'm usually playing manual, so I can take over and maneuver stuff a little bit. But by then, usually, like once I have my team kind of two-starring stuff, I'm just like go. But that's also build and stuff like that too. So yeah, with disadvantage, they take extra damage, less chance to resist the debuff. However, if they actively seek out a disadvantage hero, I don't think. Yeah, yeah. As far as that, yeah, I don't think it is like that. Yeah, I haven't seen them like yeah, like if I brought a disadvantaged character, they're not gonna yeet past my other characters and go for that character that's water. Like I don't think it's even like that. I just think it's like if you get hit, you might faint, but that's it. That's about it. Because yeah, there's been some stages where I had like 2 units even or 3 units where they were disadvantaged and they were just getting hit hard. But the one unit wasn't like it wasn't like they were like focusing one more than the other. It was just a type of unit and who was at the forefront or positioned a or certain space. Positioning in this game is a pretty big deal too, because like even when you're looking at like there's I keep mentioning them, but they're like the little insects that bleed. They have like this aggroed pincer thing that they shoot at you. But if you have a tank taunting that, then the tank is going to take on the vast majority of that. But monster density is also another thing that they like to ramp up. So in some cases, and you'll see it a lot more too in Spire, it doesn't matter. Everybody getting hit. Like, so at that point, you got to start building up like resistance and stuff like that because there's like in some cases there's nothing you can do. And I also don't know if some people notice, but like a lot of the Spire floors, they like intentionally make them disadvantaged, like, or they put you at a disadvantage. Like, so like the floor will literally be your disadvantage sometimes. And so yeah, that like low key is a thing in Spire. So yeah, they definitely like and it's like, ah man, I can't get over those explosive waves. Waffles, how far have you gotten on tower? Are you at like 120 now? Cause do the waves go past six? Cause six waves is crazy. I'm like, dude, six waves. It's like I'm like, why are we still fighting? It's so fun though. It is fun. It is really fun. Um, it said, "Hey Zox, I really like your videos. Keep up the grind. I appreciate that, fam." Uh, it said an airline. If you have disadvantage hero, the AI will ignore your tank and focus. Yes, in Airlight they will. I used to play Airlight. And even that, like if you had a unit that could tank or that could taunt, that would help. But as soon as that taunt dissipated, you would get cooked. And you're like, oh, your damage dealer ain't the right attribute, eh? Yeah, Airlight used to be the game, dude. I don't know. I don't really talk to too many people that used to play that game. My favorite collab they did was when they collabed with Sweet Home. They did a Tower God collab, and then they also did a Sweet Home collab. That was my favorite collab that they did with Air of Light. I love that game. That game was really really fun. Um, so question said, do I listen to? Oh yeah, yeah. What Waffle said. Short answer, no. Yeah, short answer. Short answer. Not as of the moment. Not as of the moment. Um, yeah, not as of the moment. And then yeah, and even the AI system in Air Light was a little bit different, but it was actually it's actually funny you mentioned that game. It's actually probably the closest to in terms of like mechanically this like how that game worked with how this game works. I definitely like that game was all timing. You had like your characters with the chain, like they had like their standard like kind of combo attacks. And then they had the time windows for their abilities. You said it goes to six waves. Bro, the six wave I'm on right now in Light Tower is just so funny to me. Because all you see is explosive pop up and you know it's about to get crazy. So his stuff just be blowing up. Yeah, this is the stage right here. This stage right here is the straight gear check. Because it's testing your survivability and then your ability to blow up stuff, like to deal with AoE enemies. I think we should be okay. I think. I forgot Hard Spire is a thing coming though. I forgot about that. Yo, those explosive waves are so toxic. Like I was like, yo, what is this? I was like, this is crazy. It was funny though, cause I've been beating them, but it's just like I was just like, yo, what is this? Just straight up a whole bunch of things. Just like, oh, you thought she was about to walk out of that radius? Here's another one that's gonna blow up. I'm like, all right. It's just like you said. So okay, I don't really know which 4 or 3 stars to build. What do you have? I mean, your starter is always a good one, right? Can't go wrong with the starter, man. Starters definitely are good because number one, they're like, typically, especially if you're free to play, they're your they're gonna be your only Nat 3-star LD for a while, so they're pretty good. Yeah, see, like right now they're kind of doing a lot on this thing, and I need her to get her AOE. Yep, there it is. Boom, blows them up. Yeah, so we're good here. Transforms, we're good. We're good. This is why we need that Titan level because otherwise you're gonna get cooked. Um, You said I still play it for some reason. Said can't get over the design, dude. You know what? I'm gonna probably revisit it, but they don't update it, do they? They don't update Airlight anymore. I thought, unless I just been missing it, because that was a game I was playing for like just self enjoyment for a while, and then I think when they did that Asgardian or Asgard update, like it just stayed that update. I didn't see any other update after that. Um, okay, so we are on Author now. This should be fun. This should be fun, guys. This is what it all boils down to. And then after that, we do chapter 9. I don't know why I feel like chapter 9 is actually easier than Author for me. Like that 8-9 is just such a pain. But now I know how to better prepare for it, so you don't have to watch me endlessly die on it. Because when my first playthrough, like 8-9 was doing me in. I was like, dude, like who made this stage? Yeah, Air of Light had kind of like a Bloodborne Elden Ring visual to it. It's actually still today the only gacha that I think has ever tried that look. Um, it like favorite gacha like design approaches of all time. It would be Air of Light is one of them. It was so dystopian, like it was very like the characters are just really cool. They're really cool. Oh, Author about to get cooked. So listen, Asin, Pila, Kalef. I hope the German names are the same. No, you're good. Yeah, so I mean Pila is pretty good. She's also a unit you get for free too. She's your I think your 14 day login unit. She's actually pretty good. Uh Kelith is actually really good as well. Lucis is good for like water tower. She can do some campaign pushing, but she's a little bit of a selfish unit. Like she's a damage dealer. Um, it said no major updates for a long time, only occasional tweaks. I think they focus more on Eclipse now. Does Eclipse actually make the money though? Because that isn't that like idle. I wasn't really too into Eclipse. That's why I didn't really mess with it. You said chapter 9 is easier than 8 and 7 in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I always feel like. Like I felt like every time I played, I'm like, dude, chapter 8 is just why. But it's all about mob density here. That's why I said I feel like chapter 8 is a big gear check, investment check. Oh yeah, slash investment check. But Aslan, Aslan, I feel like that sounds like a Magi unit, and I'm gonna double check. It is. She's a burn unit. She's a pretty decent self sustain unit. She gives herself like crit rate up, crit damage. She has burn, so she's definitely gonna be a unit you'll probably end up using for like fire tower and stuff like that too. So she's actually pretty solid. She has buff extension. Um, are we like not doing damage or something? Like I'm not watching what's happening. Oh, the knights. Oh yeah, we got mobs here, so this is fun. You said Darkness and Divinity tried it, but they suspended it for some reason. You said the you saw talking about the design. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I when I was playing Air 2, there was some guys I knew that was spending some money. All right, so kill. Thanks. We need our Titan build up here. All right, so Forwick's holding it down though. Ooh, that stun, man. I don't know. Is he gonna heal? Oh, he could. Titan. That's GG. You should win here. We should win here. We missed a lot of our DOTs on the boss, but that's fair. I mean, you got rid of the mobs. Just keep Bullets alive though. Can we like do that for 100? You know? I don't know how Bullets is still alive front tanking right now. He just died. Surely you can do 6%. Surely. Oh brother. I got a manual here. Or you guys okay, you got it. Cool. I'm like, surely you'll finish. You said I would just be listening to your stream while a game is in auto farm. Oh, no worries, man. No, I appreciate you for even stopping by, brother. I appreciate it. All right, there we go. We're done. Chapter 8 is great. And now we got to do that. Okay. So that was the big push there on chapter 8. I kind of I don't know. Like Humi is gonna be like I kind of should take her up because she has attack and defense break, and she's wind attribute. So I kind of need to build her anyway. But I kind of wanted to do that light chick first. I'm gonna stick to my progression though. I'm gonna do Humi first. Then we'll go. We'll actually get the light chick built after. Yeah, because I think it's just utility wise, that's just better investment. But yeah, we're gonna get her built. We're gonna get her built because I think single. She gains 100 ultimate mana if this attack kills a target. Oh, she might be. Hold on. And that's an active skill cooldown, and then she has two a. Okay, so she has an AOE, but then with her killing, she might actually be really good at mobbing, low key, because it would if she can cool this down, and this is AOE. That's actually not bad. Yeah, her modifier is like 20% away from her. Oh, what the heck? Okay, and that's 2 hits. So this is actually going to be this actually might be really strong on bosses. So I just need to make sure I might actually do a little bit more emphasis on because that's her those are her modifiers at base. What the heck? $460 to yo. Okay. How much is your yeah, so it's like the same cost. Bruh. Okay. Yeah, she might actually be able to do some damage now looking at her. Um I'll build her for experimentation purposes. Because I think this was one of the newer rares added into the game. I don't think she was in the game when I first started. I'm gonna be honest. And I haven't gotten lucky. Like even on my main account, I don't have her yet. Hold on, let me actually double check that because I don't think I have her even on my main account yet. Um, and that's the funny thing about LDs. Yeah, bruh, she's like the one character out of yeah, she's the one out of the rares I'm still missing on my main. That we love that. So this is like the only way I can test her right now. All right, so hey, she getting built. She getting built, guys. She's getting built. That would mean then what I would do is I would try to actually lean a little bit more into the defense break on her, on my Celissa. So we'll do that. I don't mind having 2 defense breakers though, because that'll be still okay for now. And then I'll probably swap her. Probably keep her like this for right now and then build her after. So yeah, Humi will be the next one. Then we'll do, yeah, we'll do Orchica, or is it Orchira? Yeah, Orchira. There we go. And then yeah, that'll be what we do. So we'll do Humi first. Let's get Humi out the way. Ascend. Where's the fodder? You're one of them. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, and good old fashioned 4. All right, ascend the 5-star. All right, Humi, welcome to the 5-star club. You're gonna take that EXP. I'm gonna level you up to 50. And now she's a competent unit. Put her at 2.2k. And I just have to tweak her build a little bit, but yeah, she's gonna be good. Even starting to push her into like some gear stuff too. Make sure she has enough accuracy, and we just kind of do our thing. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, page 23. We got Spire. So today, I think we have one more day technically. Yeah, we have one more day. And now I can do my boy's nodes. You said, or we can sacrifice Kirito's account. I don't know if he even has her though, bro. That's the thing. All right, so Fulric. Okay, so we've been waiting all stream to do this because I was trying to make sure it counted on my progress quest. There we go. Why are you not lit up? Oh, okay. You're missing Water Garuda. Let's go get that real quick. We'll push up some. All right, and then this will probably be the last thing we do just to get it out the way. You said get that purple summon and rip a legendary? Oh yeah, we could do that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I forgot about that. Every time you get to the next page, you get a chance to get a purple summon. Yeah, so we can do that real quick. Yeah, I'll do Fulric afterwards. I'll probably cover that in a video. That's fine. Let's see. What tower do we want to do? Yeah, that's the reason why I kind of like these. Like, dude, hold on, Waffles. I'm gonna send you. I gotta show you what I got saved for the next chase, dude. I've been stacking. Like, as soon as I got my stuff done, I said I'm out of here. I was like, I'm not using no more currency. Yeah, I went in. I was one and done. I was like, let me get my stuff. I was so lucky though. I'm really glad. And I mean, granted, I don't like the devs making mistakes or anything like that, or bugs happening. But thank you, devs, for there being a bug and you guys compensated those crowns for that. Because it was something I was gonna be able to do, but then I didn't have to do it. So I was able to skip the Titan Summon and Titan Surge event. And then I still somehow got extra crowns, which is the crazy part. So I was like, hey, I'm chilling right now. Granted, I only got like 10 extra crowns, but that's better than no extra crowns, you know? I don't know. Are we going to survive this? Yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah, we just need a wind tank for this, and then we'll be... Maybe, yeah, just wind tank. We'll be good. And I might actually do the fusion for Zorak. Just all depends on what I get. I don't know if I'm near... it probably reset because I did end up getting an epic. So you're out. All right, man. You have a blessed night, bro. Appreciate you for stopping by, Waffles. Per usual, man. You have a good night, man. You stay safe out there. Get some rest, man. Oh, wait. No, you're saying you're out of resources. My bad. I'm like sending you off. I'm like, hey, all right, have a good one. You said you got 0 resources. It went from 50 million gold to like 300k memoriam to 0. Yeah, dude. I had before the chase, I had 98 million gold. At 98. I am currently at 34 million. I have 98 million. Dude, I like when I say I was like just preparing, I was like, yep, I'm about to kill it real quick. And my resources just disappeared. I was like, okay. I was like, where did it go? My memoriam is like, okay. It's starting to do okay again, I guess, a little bit. But I definitely, yeah, I got 57K memoriam, 34.6K or 34.6 mil right now, in gold. But yeah, we were struggling for a little bit. Let's see here. We're gonna go last one. And then this is gonna reset in a day. That's why I didn't even like go crazy. I was like, bruh, I'm gonna get what I can from it, but I was like, it's about to reset on your boy. Water, fire, earth. Yeah, we'll let bullets be OP for one, and then I'll blast the rest tomorrow. We'll run her because why not? We got her. Throw that in. Give me that. Give it the bullets because you're gonna die in like one hit. You said you got your Yumi to 52 with 70% crit rate day one. Said all skills are level 5. That's really good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, Bullets is such a good rare. He gets the job done. It's so funny that our first initial like starter characters were uncommons. Am I stunned right now? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, what is he doing? Dude is just over there just resisting everything. Was he like flexing just now? Like, I'm confused. Look at that. And he's just gonna hit him one time and just make him faint. Yo, the AI is low-key funny though for that. Oh, she actually moved out of the way for that. Or no, she went to go fight something else, so she did not move intentionally out of the way for that. And then that should be GG. All right, here we go. This is a moment of truth. Can we get something for the last summon? I don't know if we're close to any of the other ones. Yeah, if I get another epic, it gives me another one. Yeah, we'll see. All right, let's see. Give me something. You know, something good, preferably. Okay, they said nah. They said hold this 3-star. And it's the only one that has hex. Like, brother. All right, so okay, we're taking it like it is. I will say we'll have 2 light units. We're gonna work with that. Foric. We need to do that. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna let that farm. I gotta push this. I guess that's what we got going for day 7. We're about to go into the reset, so that'll be good. Put you in here. Go here, here, and here. And then now she's at 50. So yeah, now we got a competent team for gear dungeon too, low key. Because we got our double defense break application. If one don't land, the other will. We got heals, got damage. It's 3 damage dealers. Probably have to look at a support buffer or something like at some point. We love that. We love that freeze. Just full sended bullets though. Okay. Said, did Miss D tell you to get off? Bro, no, she didn't. What are you talking about? Lonzo, you like, yeah, you're always her what's it called? Her spy. I feel like you guys have secret meetings, and she's like, hey, make sure he does this. I actually did eat though before I streamed, so that's why I'm not worried about it right now. Yeah, we love water on this sea. We just need 3. Victory. And we got 2, so we gotta do one more. That was 132. Yeah, this is gonna definitely be. He said no one saw you eat though. Hold on, let me see something. We're gonna have to give her some more. Oh nope, she landed her. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I did build her. I did build her for it. Never mind. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna give her some TLC on the skills, and then we'll be good. Good to go. All right, so this is the last room we'll do, and then we'll get forward going. And I think that should be enough to clear chapter 9, and then we'll be in insane. So I'll try to finish chapter 9 before reset though, and then I'll make sure that's our next video. So at a medium speed, you should at the fastest, if you get a really good roll, insane, you should be at even not, you should be at insane in a few days, but at most it should take you a week tops to get to insane difficulty. Because I wasn't playing like super hard where I was like playing the whole day. I was still like making videos for different games and all that stuff. So if I could do all of that, you can absolutely get to insane difficulty. I love how the shield runs out right before the CC effect happens. Forward was trying to show off his instinct stat. Yeah, defense break and attack break at the same time is just nice. I'm impressed he actually moved out of that. All right, there we go. Okay. So, oh, of course we get 6 on this run and 2 on the other one, but it's fine. All right, so we now have successfully gotten Fulric to God Healer status. Well, almost there. That second awakening is going to be nice for his stats. Boom. 3.2. So I give him another 200 on the power there. And then attack increase, we'll take it. Defense increase, we'll take it. And then now we just have to go after that. So that is what I'm going to finish farming. We'll go to Galvos. Because I definitely want to get at least this tree done. And then we'll be good to go. Let's put it on a multi-battle. Yeah, we'll do 50. Nah, I'm lying. We're not going to do that many. We'll do 30. All right, there we go. All right, cool. And welcome. Got that. Okay, so we did 300k points. That's not bad, dude. And then we're 6th place. That's not bad because this guy is definitely spending, so that's not bad. Okay. So yeah, I think that's our push as of the moment. I think we're about to hit maybe level 29. Yeah, we're like literally are gonna hit level 29 after this. A few runs of that, and then team. It's a little strong here. Okay, so that's what we got. We got Celissa, Forik, Arturu, Bolus, and Humi. And even with him, am I no? not even anywhere near done. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave it. Okay, cool. But all right, guys, we're gonna end the stream here, man. Um, I guess the next video you'll see will be probably be an insane difficulty. So I'll update you on any of the changes after the full grind. I'll probably do it as a weekly recap for that episode, just so you can kind of, for those that are like trucking along, can have a rough idea on where their account should be. In reality, you can do this much quicker. If we ever have like a contest at some point for building a account fast and I really lock in, it should be doable in like a few days, really. But it also kind of depends on what start you go with. Like Danos is just, he's gonna speed that. But yeah, so that is that, guys. Of course, as always, appreciate you guys for coming through. Make sure you guys like not only the stream, but subscribe to the channel. Also, follow me on Twitch if you're on the Twitch side, because I forgot we're streaming on that as well. And is there any other announcements I'm going to make? If you're on X, follow me on X too. I'm going to start posting like infographics and a whole bunch of other stuff, like the videos and stuff like that on there. It's just Zox Invokers. I just made it. I'm making it, and I'm doing a fresh one for this game specifically. So I will drop that for anyone that is interested. And of course, the Discord is always open. So feel free, come through. If you have any questions, join the official Discord. I myself am a moderator in there, but also you got Lou, you got Waffles in there, a whole bunch of just great individuals that's just helping. So if you have any questions, if anybody, like we all kind of trust each other's information that we're sharing. So for the most part, like if you ask one person, it's more than likely the thing you need to do a lot of the times. But it's also a place where you can get like multiple opinions if you need it as well. So all right, I'm gonna drop that and bang. There we go. All right. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys all stay blessed. I'll catch you guys later. All right, guys. Peace.